got claws. I can use them.
Who said that?
Mutants must rule.
Did he say that?
Optic blast fire.
They all said that. They all talk.
Introducing Marvel Talking Superheroes and X-Men.
This is mine.
They make sounds, too.
3 separate voice sound activators let you control what they say.
Die, Spider-Man.
And do.
I want to eat your brain. Spider sense tingling.
I'm the king, man. I run the underworld, guy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of BrainWatching. I am your host, Nintles, and today we have J Chippers.
Hello.
We have Wildcard.
What? I can't hear. That was really loud. What?
We have Cubicle Wings.
Yep.
And today we have MB Teddygram.
Excuse me, my name obviously says June in here.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were supposed to do this episode in May. We got distracted. So yeah, we're gonna be talking we're gonna be talking about the stuff that happened in May because we weren't able to record. So,
in our defense, we were actually, focusing on, content.
Yeah.
What's content?
Yeah, we were very short on content this year. But yeah, May was a very impactful year. So,
May was my favorite year.
But the biggest thing that happened this month was Avengers Endgame. Of course, that's what happened. So let's start off properly with a review of probably the biggest film in recent memory. Avengers Endgame.
Just a lot of wasted names that don't mean diddly shit.
For sure. You don't know where you're at. You don't know shit about you.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit.
Sounds like it's portable, yeah.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
Oh shit,
Also-
I haven't seen this one, guys.
Dude,
don't spoil it.
You had a month.
So spoilers ahead.
I don't think you had
Spoilers,
that
Pikachu dies.
Spider-Man dies again.
Spoilers
This time
ahead.
by a horde of women.
Oh no.
I mean, we gave you all a month and a half to go see this movie. If you haven't seen it already,
Deal with it.
yeah, deal with it.
Or watch this after you've seen it.
I don't know. If someone's gone this long without it getting spoiled for them, that's some massive props.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
dedication.
That's quite impressive.
Like you're just seeing just a little
It's
mention
like
of it. It's
he
like,
went to the middle of nowhere for
Shrek
2
was-
weeks.
Oh nope.
Nope.
It's like he went to the middle of nowhere for 2 weeks. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, on Twitter, you can block certain words. So I'm sure people blocked everything regarding Endgame. So
Yeah, it could be possible.
anyways, discussion time.
Yay.
Yeah. So,
Do you want to go down the line of who thought what everyone thought, or
yeah.
Avengers. It was entertaining, but if you don't think about it, it's entertaining. If you didn't think about it, it's a paradoxical mess.
yeah.
Where do I even begin? But all in all, still very entertaining.
All of the Avengers movies and all the Marvel movies as of late have led up to this movie, and it was a great thing to see end in such a way.
Yeah, but I mean, in previous movies, like Doctor Strange and stuff, when they approach time travel and quantum physics and stuff, they were actually somewhat clever about it. Here, they just didn't give it or didn't care. They just threw it all against the wall and said, "You know what?
Can I give my opinion?
Nope."
Sure.
Go ahead.
How dare they kill Iron Man? He was the only one I really liked. I'm so mad.
I'm just gonna cut that just to be
Wow.
the first opinion
Wow,
that just
you
comes in.
That was like 0 to 10.
I'm so sad
you
because I was
got
like,
mad.
oh no, they killed Spider-Man, but at least we still have Iron Man. And then they bring Spider-Man back, and then they kill Iron Man. I'm like, why? Why can we only have one or the other? It's not fair.
But wait a minute, he has a kid now. So now they're going to carry on the series as Iron Kid.
Iron Kid.
Oh no,
Iron
no,
Boy.
it's not the same.
This was the perfect, or this was their crafty way of continuing the Iron Man series without Robert Downey Jr., which is to say,
He was the
to
only
make it-
one who made it good.
exactly, which is to
maybe-
make it say absolutely worthless.
Maybe that's how they want to keep the rights to Spider-Man. Is they're going to stop calling him Spider-Man. They're just going to start calling him Iron Boy.
Oh no. You know Iron Boy's a
talking
thing,
about-
right?
Ah, we're not using Spider-Man anymore. Ha!
I'm not talking about Spider-Man. I'm talking about Iron Man's kid in the movie.
But
Ah.
you know Iron
Yeah.
Boy is an actual thing, right? Like there's a whole comic.
Really?
Huh.
Huh.
Yeah.
There's a comic for a lot of things that you will
Also-
never think of.
Also, Teddy, I like how you were super mad, whereas I was fucking super sad, crying my eyes out in the theater like a little
I mean,
bitch.
I was sad, but I was also furious.
I was crying like a little bitch, like the guy next to me, and because I was in a theater, the guy next to me was even more fucking pathetic.
Wow.
Like he was breaking down.
I didn't shed a tear because I am a strong individual. I refuse to cry.
Can we just talk for a little bit of basically the last line he delivered in the movie, Iron Man?
It was all leading up to that.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like intended to be like in the film. Like they actually filmed that scene with just Tony Stark just doing the snap. But
Yeah.
they actually refilmed that scene after they realized, how about have him say, "I am Iron Man"? And it was like, yeah, why couldn't they do that? So in the reshots, they did "I am Iron Man," and honestly, that actually made the scene even better because it was.
I thought Robert Downey Jr. like suggested it to them, like
Yeah.
Oh no,
the
it was
writers
the
had-
executive that actually suggested it.
huh.
What? An executive did something right?
Yeah.
Nah, that's
What?
fake news.
That's
Yeah.
fake news. But
And also, it's been so long since I've seen the movie now that I've kind of forgotten a lot of it.
yeah,
Like, I remember
kinda
it's a parody.
forgot, but like I wrote down some notes, so during the
Okay.
movie,
Yeah.
but not too many
I mean-
because like I was too invested in the movie.
I mean,
but,
I've
like-
seen that like late April, so everything is almost like a blur right now.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
Fat Thor was such a mood though.
Oh my
What
god!
was?
I saw fucking hate on that on
Thor.
Twitter. Like I don't know why people had a problem with it. Like that's showing that this guy went through such depression of being like having everything just taken away
Yeah.
and for nothing.
The thing was like
I love the Thor scene though.
they argued that like he didn't really have like his accumulation of like his overarching arc. He was just there after he like ended up becoming a fat slob, like the big Four Lebowski. He just
The guy was depressed.
yeah. But like it was like yeah, he didn't have any like redeeming arc with that. But even then, like the
Wait.
Big Four Lebowski was probably the best part of this movie.
My favorite part is hearing Thor talk about Fortnite.
Considering this is in like 2023 that the that Endgame takes place in, they're
That
technically
means
playing.
Fortnite is still popular. No.
Actually,
In
no, it
20
It more likely just means it's just a not trendy game, but like they were just playing it anyway.
Oh, so like
Yeah,
Call of Duty.
A few years from now,
Like they take it from 100 people to just like 10 people per game.
Basically, yeah.
It just gets dead, and it's always the same 10 people in every game.
It's just Call of Duty, man.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Anyway,
but like 10 years or like 5 years from now, we're gonna look at that and like the hype of Fortnite's gonna pass, and it's gonna be like the most cringiest thing of the movie.
yeah, we're gonna talk about Apex Legends next.
Oh.
Oh, more how.
Anyways, now to the actual movie. The two lines though that just the whole franchise was leading up to was that I'm Iron Man thing. And
The other line
Avengers
was time travel.
And no, shut up. And also Avengers Assemble when they all just charged at the army.
Yeah.
Like that, it was all leading up to that, making it a very emotional thing. The guy next to me in the theater was like, "Yes!" Like he was like, "Yes!"
It seems like the guy you were sitting next to was quite the fanboy.
He was.
Yeah.
All right, so let's actually talk about the plot. The movie like begins after like the end of Endgame, where like, oh shit, everyone's dead, and Captain Marvel comes in and is like, about to kill Thanos. So they go to a deserted planet where Thanos is like there, and it turns out that he's basically like an old man. And it's like, oh, I destroyed all the stones. So basically, they couldn't reverse it because Thanos destroyed the stones.
But then they could.
Yeah. So basically,
I never saw Captain Marvel, but everything about her in this movie pissed me off.
Right? Same.
My thought on that is that granted she was the worst part of this movie.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I have to say that as much as she was built up on being, the savior and everything, being pretty much the Superman of Marvel, pretty much.
Yeah.
She was useless.
I like that, but here's the thing. I like that she wasn't seen as she wasn't used as such.
Yeah.
Because then it would have looked bad
Right.
on everyone else. So I'm
Exactly.
glad that she, at least her part, was to get the Infinity Gauntlet off of Thanos and give it to Tony. That's
I'll give you that,
what I think.
but
Like, she was annoying, but like she didn't overstay
Yeah.
her
okay,
welcome.
this probably was answered in the Captain Marvel movie. But if she's supposed to be the protector of the freaking galaxy, why didn't she stop Thanos much sooner before he became this big of a problem?
Exactly.
Like that's the giant plot hole they created.
Yeah, it is. Including
I-
like every other thing that affected Earth during that time. I mean, they showed all of it, like the event, like Avengers, like those aliens invading the planet.
I like what they did with Doctor Strange though. Like I forget who
Yes.
asked him. Who asked?
Oh my God.
Him, who asked him like, "Do we win? So are we gonna win?" And he's like, "We won't if I tell you."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I love
that makes so much sense.
Yeah, but I love the part where it was almost like Fate Stay Night, that one, or Fate Zero, that one move that Gilgamesh. Like, have you guys seen that one? Where he like opens a portal, or like little portals, and just like all these swords come out.
Yeah.
It was that kind of thing, but with time portals, and it was like yes at the very end.
Oh yeah.
Although it did kind of annoy me, like the feminist undertones of that one scene where they just randomly interrupted the battle to just have all the women gather. It's like,
yeah, that was a bit.
that was a little heavy-handed. Yeah, it was a little too heavy-handed to me. But like,
Yeah.
I don't
mean,
have
the characters
not a-
themselves are great. Well,
Yeah,
except
but
for
for
Carol
forcing it down her
Danvers,
throat
but-
like that, to just cut the battle off for a moment, just to force that down her throat, was heavy-handed and kind of annoying. But
Yeah. Dude,
But the
let's
characters
talk about
themselves weren't like terrible, like except for Captain Marvel. Like
Let's
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch
Let's talk
is
about
pretty
the
good.
let's talk about the best character in this movie, Professor Hulk.
Oh
Yes,
my
that
gosh.
actually That
Yes.
actually surprised me, honestly.
I loved it.
I was like, wait, what? When I saw it, because
Seeing Bruce Banner and fucking Hulk combined and seeing them dab is the best fucking thing.
Yes.
That actually came out of nowhere. I didn't even. thought
it's
that
just
would
like when the
happen.
kids wanted a picture with him, and then like it's like, oh, you don't want a picture with me,
Hey, you want a picture with me? I'm Ant-Man.
and then
No
Yes.
one cares about
You know what?
Ant-Man.
You know what I miss, or like what would have been great, is if they at least tried to acknowledge the joke about Ant-Man killing Thanos. Like Ant-Man was going for it, and then actually get swatted away or something.
That would have been amazing.
oh my gosh.
I'm, dude, but Ant-Man is so underrated though.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
He helped in so much, but he's like still an awkward boy.
Basically,
You
yeah.
guys, did you know that every figure of Ant-Man is life size?
Shit.
But what about Giga Ant-Man?
Okay, that's actually funny.
Okay, yeah, but the Giga Ant-Man part was pretty.
Yeah.
But like, you just realize that essentially makes him the most overpowered creature simply
Not really,
by his ability.
because he's still like super heavy, so like his movements are still like delayed and shit
Yeah.
because of how
Slow.
big he is. But
Well,
but
I mean, he
still,
doesn't
can
have
take
to
out-
necessarily complete
he
the
can take
movement.
out he can take out the bigger people, essentially.
Yeah, so Ant-Man was the one that actually created the quantum portal that was basically the massive plot of the movie where basically all the characters like Iron Man, Captain America, Hawkeye.
We should mention that he comes in to this film. He comes into this film in the continuation of what happened in Ant-Man and Wasp, where at the end he got trapped in the portal
Yeah.
because the people that were with him running the portal at the end of Ant-Man and Wasp, they got snapped. So he had to find his way back, and that's when he joined the team. He found them later.
I did not see Ant-Man either, so
I did not,
Yeah.
but like that's where he came in from. Like he came through the van. That's the end scene of Ant-Man and Wasp. He gets stuck in there. He gets stuck in the quantum realm,
wow.
Yeah.
which sucks because everyone died and he didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I want to talk about two characters, Hawkeye and Black Widow. Black Widow. Widow. Fuck,
The black tree.
Black Widow. Tree powers activate.
Iron Groot.
Oh god, that's great.
Yeah.
But no, like
Dude.
at the beginning of the film, Hawkeye had his family like killed in the and it was actually a very emotional scene.
Yeah.
This led him to become a complete fucking complete assassin. And
And no
start-
Maya wa mo shindere.
Nutty?
He goes to Japan and fucking starts becoming an assassin. And it's actually really cool. how
Learns
they did that.
Japanese
Yeah.
He learns Japanese.
and becomes Genji basically.
Oh yeah, basically. Yeah.
Pretty much. But I just like though that Black Widow and Hawkeye went from being the most useless Avengers to
Being the most badass.
yeah fucking I thought that Hawkeye was gonna die, and then I'm like, oh, they're gonna have Black Widow die.
Nope, we're both
Because
died.
he wanted to sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Black
that's
Widow
the-
wouldn't
yeah.
have to. And then she ended up doing it anyway. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, that scene was crazy
Yeah.
and kind of funny, but
One of the things they were developing was they were having a relationship build up between Bruce Banner and Black Widow. I don't think it really went like through, but Hulk at the end of the after they traveled through time, Hulk was like, "I want to save her. I want to go back."
Yeah, like
so I think that was what they were trying to do.
They just said like it was Hulk that said like what happened to Widow, or her real name or whatever. And they just looked in sadness, like she didn't make it, like fucking, and they just left it at that, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta say though, as it pains me, just like I said, Black Widow and Hawkeye are like the most useless Avengers. But Hawkeye is more useful than Black Widow, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Black Widow just uses guns, just go pew pew.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
it actually makes it really confusing.
And the entire movie is summarized.
Yeah, it makes it really confusing
pew,
because
bang bang, fuck you Thanos, pew. Pew. All right.
It actually makes it really confusing because they're supposed to be doing a Black Widow prequel movie pretty soon. So more likely it's probably going to be a prequel.
Just telling her story, I guess.
Yeah, but it kind of was very anticlimactic that you didn't know her story before she died.
Yeah, she's just an agent. She's just a mercenary.
Well, maybe we'll finally find out what Budapest means. It's just like Budapest, right? Haha, yeah, that one adventure that we've never talked about before.
Well,
probably one of the more emotional scenes in the film, like when they were going time traveling, was when Tony Stark met his father.
Yes, that was good too.
Yeah,
that was actually really emotional. It was kind of clever foreshadowing too.
Howard Potts.
Like,
anyway,
he asked him how proud of it he is to be a dad. And
yeah,
that just struck a chord with me. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, after watching that scene, that's where I'm like, they're gonna kill Tony off, aren't they? It's like all of a sudden they resolved his long issue with having issues with his father in the past, like how he feels like he's not living up to them or whatnot.
I do like.
As soon as they conclude it, it's like, oh wow, he just had some closure with his dad. Fuck, they're gonna kill Iron Man.
It's not fair.
I do like the difference, the differences in closure between Tony and Captain America. Like Captain America, he didn't die; he just got old.
That's America's.
They just let him age. He went back and he started living life from then on.
Do you think when he got old that he managed to keep America's ass? Or did that
America's ass got real saggy.
Oh
no! I may be an old man, but I keep this nice and firm.
Do you think he was able to prevent major mistakes like Vietnam and 9/11 and stuff, and then completely change the course of history and just prevent the whole movie from happening in the first place?
Yeah, it could have.
Like I said, this is very paradoxical.
Yeah, it is.
But the thing is,
that's why I said if you don't think about it, it's very entertaining. And that's my final thought on the matter.
Can I talk about one thing I didn't really like about the movie?
I thought you didn't see it.
Oh, I did see it.
Oh.
But I feel like it kind of really negated a little bit of what we saw in Infinity War, because what I like about Infinity War is it's more of Thanos' movie.
Yeah.
And we get to hear his justification of why he wants to wipe out half the universe in order to help preserve it, right?
Yeah.
And he's right.
Yeah, but he's he's doing it because he thinks it's right. He's not trying to be evil or like do it menacingly. He's not trying to kill people with a passion. Like, he's not inherently bad. But what I find I really hate about Endgame is, like, as soon as he gets finds out that the Infinity Stones are in the future, he goes to the future. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna kill everybody on your planet, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Well, to be honest,
Why the fuck is?
Well,
He
to
just
be
becomes
honest,
a
it was a
homicidal
different
maniac.
It was a different
Well, I mean,
Thanos too. So
I
was
mean,
the
in
one
the
from,
previous
like,
movie, he did say this does bring a smile to my face, but
yeah, like
Yeah, it's an alternate universe Thanos.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
but that's
the
just
thing about that.
they resolved his arc right early in the film where Thanos
Like, they
actually
can't
aimed
decide
for
which-
the head.
they can't decide which theory of time travel they want to use. Should they use multiverse or singleverse? Why not both?
I just feel like they it just kind of really negated Thanos' character. Like, I loved him as a villain in Infinity War, but this one I just felt like he's another one of those oh, I'm gonna kill everybody villains. It's like,
Y'all
oh.
need to watch the Super Carlin Brothers video on this. There's a whole
Like-
video that
like,
explains.
He went from
If
from
somebody-
he went from justifiable like somewhat justifiable reason of trying to wipe out half the universe for the greater good in his eyes to being a homicidal maniac wanting to kill everyone on a planet.
Yeah,
And also,
because
too-
it was technically the Guardians of the Galaxy Thanos, basically. So
Yeah.
in that, like, when he was like in Endgame, like when they went for the portal, he had an army, like, so he kind of had that motivation. Whereas in Infinity War, it was just himself along with just some croonies.
Yeah.
Another thing I just want to ask too, I don't know what you guys think about this, but is Thanos like worthy or something? Because he almost killed Thor with his own axe. He caught it out of the air.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, oh
Is
my
he worthy?
god!
Like, what the fuck?
Well, I think.
Well,
he
I mean,
gave
it's
up
the hammer, not the axe, that has
I'm
the
pretty
worthiness
sure he
thing
gave
to
up
it.
his
So.
worthiness with Valkyrie. Because
Yeah,
Valkyrie
that's
was
the
still in
thing.
film.
That's the thing. He gave it to Tony.
What?
Like
Wait,
like,
what?
No, he gave his
didn't he give
worthiness
give
to
it-
Valkyrie, and he
Valkyrie.
started-
That's right. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and he ended up joining the Guardians of the Galaxy. So more than likely, this means we're gonna be getting the ass Guardians of the Galaxy.
I bet you that's what it is going to be called. They're just going to slap as if it's drawn in there with Asgardians.
So, final thoughts.
Remember, this is only like the end of the one saga because we
Alright.
still got fucking Galactus.
Don't worry, we still have 4 minutes left to talk about it. So
Yeah, fucking Galactus is gonna be a fucking.
But the escalation cycle continues. Like, eventually, they're gonna get to a point where they're like, "Now what? What's bigger than
What's
you know
bigger than
the entire
Galactus?
universe?"
Fucking galaxy ass fucking villain.
Yeah. But next it's gonna be Universitas, and then what?
Existence.
Multiverstus?
there's
Existence.
so much about this movie that
Existence?
dude, there's so much in this movie that is on my mind. It's complete blur, but like.
Yeah, I know.
That's-
Like,
that's
as we're
because
talking about it,
it's
it's coming
such
back
a
to me.
big
I want a
movie.
good Doctor Doom.
And then
Gamora.
Loki is
Let's talk
escaped.
about Gamora. She comes back in the film.
She's green.
She's great.
Move on.
She's
It was
green.
with
What's up with
Nebula's
that?
character basically using the same Wi-Fi network. Nebula, the two Nebulas share the same memory, so that led to
Fucking iCloud.
So it led,
It's funny because it's an eye.
so it led to Thanos' army using the same type of time travel machine that the Avengers use, and it was actually one of the shocking moments of the film. But then at the end of the film, Gamora starts becoming good because she aligns herself with the good Nebula, but out of nowhere, Gamora disappears. So, I think more likely.
Guardians 3 plot. Sorry, was that me?
Yeah.
So maybe she was snapped out of the universe by Iron Man. I'm not sure, really.
Or maybe. Well, wait. Did we see Star-Lord at that time either?
Yes, we saw Star-Lord.
Okay. There goes that theory.
Yeah, so Star-Lord did see.
We know the captain, right?
Yeah.
What?
Star-Lord.
Yeah, we know the captain.
Yeah, Star-Lord did come in and see Gamora, but
Well, no. I mean the part where Gamora was gone. Did we see
like
Star-Lord?
she was like, "Where's Gamora?"
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
can
I got
just
one
say-
better. Why is Gamora?
Why? How is Gamora?
Oh yeah.
When is Gamora?
Can I just say that in the end credits they actually just neglected they neglected Star-Lord by just putting him like after all the other Avengers. He was like with Chris Pratt and
Okay. I thought you were gonna say that they neglected putting in memory of Stan Lee because they did that. They neglected
no.
that. but
I'm saying they belittled Chris Pratt. He was like the best actor in the whole series.
That's subjective, eh?
Yeah,
Debatable.
that's debatable.
And,
Plus, he wasn't really in the
there's
movie that
frickin'
long.
Yeah.
Tony Stark. I mean,
Yeah, that's the
Robert Downey
thing. Like I
Jr..
said, I fucking cried like a bitch because oh my god, he's my favorite Avenger. He's my favorite superhero.
Oh
I
yeah.
couldn't
Well,
hear him
I
die
think it's
because
Spider-Man.
everybody was fucking crying.
Yeah.
or because Robert Downey Jr. had enough and couldn't handle the
Oh yeah,
stunts
like
anymore.
Shut up! I'm trying to watch this man die!
yeah, like the end parts where all
Like the
main
one guy
Avengers,
that's excited about it.
Yeah, the end part where all the Avengers got their like own like title sequence with their silhouettes and their fucking
I
signatures.
see.
Dude,
my
that
God.
broke me. That was a
But still,
beautiful
like, the whole-
moment.
Like, what if you were the one guy in the theater that was excited that Tony Stark was dying, and everybody was crying?
Yeah, the light
It was
goes out.
I was like, no, I was like, woo!
Imagine that the light goes out.
Finally!
That's how you get shot.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
that'd
that
be great.
guy in China.
Fucking
would be
nerd
great.
culture will go on your ass.
By the way, did you hear about the guy in China who got the shit beat out of him because he ran out the theater spoiling in games?
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I heard about that.
Like he ran out there and started yelling spoilers and got the shit kicked out of him.
Good. Fuck him.
Can you imagine
Yeah,
that? Just like
I
the
can-
theater's
the
like
Chinese-
completely silent.
The
And,
Chinese take cinema seriously.
Yeah. Anyways,
I just like how all the actors took their time to just say,
I can't say anything. What?
fine.
okay.
What do you want?
Okay.
That's it's
Final
past.
thoughts.
It's dead. It can't.
Let's
okay,
give
whatever.
Cubicle's final thoughts.
Fucking hell.
But when can we see them at Shawarma again? That's the real question.
Don't worry, we'll
let-
still have
let-
enough time to talk about all this stuff when we talk about Spider-Man. Anyways, final thoughts.
Can we jump to Detective Pikachu?
Oh my god. Let Q say his shit. Q,
Huh?
did we break you now?
What?
Didn't you have a final thought you were
Q.
trying to spout?
You know, I just cried when Coulson died.
Oh my god. Yeah. I love Coulson.
Like, what if when he
Wait,
oh,
were we
Coulson,
reviewing Endgame? I thought we were doing the first Avengers. My bad.
Who's Coulson?
Yeah. Shawarma.
Shawarma.
But also when Hawkeye lost his family, what if he
Yeah.
was like, "Yes, I'm free." And he runs off.
I just like how fucking
Okay,
Nick
we're
Fury
getting
was
derailed
the-
right now. Let's
Yep.
just get to our final
Okay,
damn
thoughts.
it.
let's put final thoughts into one word.
Nick
Go.
Fury.
Confusing
That's not
but
one
great.
word. That's 2 words.
Nick Fury. Just one.
Fury. All right,
Fury.
K-Chips, one word. What is it?
Fury.
Fury. All right. Nintels.
Dab.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
Wildcard.
Fortnite.
Green.
Teddy.
Sad.
Anyway,
Stairs.
Detective
Okay.
Pikachu. Yes.
No, we're gonna
next
talk about.
is-
Staying on the Marvel train.
Ugh. Fine.
we're still talking about Marvel, but we're gonna be deriving our attention to Spider-Man, the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
You were
that
about
just
to say
got released.
Homecoming.
I was almost gonna say Homecoming, but no.
Yay.
So,
Yeah.
why this ties in Endgame is because it's technically like a continuation of Endgame.
It's after Tony died.
Yes.
Mhm. And then he realized.
Wait,
he was...
Tony died?
What? Yeah. I didn't know. Now I'm sad.
Spoiler.
Yeah, it's not like Teddy went on a fucking massive rant.
Well, we
Definitely
here,
not.
she
I don't
peeked
do
out
that.
in our- Well, she got so loud that Discord peeked her out and just she was like, "Why did I? Why did Iron Man? Like they know, you know how Discord will cut people out if they get too loud. That's basically what happened.
Totally.
All we heard was, "Why did Iron?"
That's pretty much my reaction, though.
You just hear Teddy.
Oh, look, I did it again. That's pretty bad.
Okay.
All right.
Spooderman.
So
Yeah,
it's
come on.
the opposite of Homecoming.
Which should be coming out, I think, in the next few weeks.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
There's a spider.
And there's a man.
Okay, move on.
Okay. So, yeah, this takes directly after Endgame, and we finally get a good Mysterio.
Jake,
Fucking-
you
God, he
Yeah,
looks so
Mysterio's a
good.
guy.
He looks
Definitely
so
is not
good.
gonna betray Spider-Man at the end of the film.
I don't care. He looks so good.
Who?
I thought you
Mysterio
were
is-
referring to good as in he's the good guy.
No, Mysterio's like one of my favorite fucking Spider-Man universe characters.
Yeah, has a fish tank on his head.
Oh God,
He doesn't have a fish tank in this movie. Or
Wait, let me see. I'm not
does.
familiar with this. Let me see this guy, Mysterio.
Yeah, he has the fish tank on his head in parts of the trailer.
Yeah.
But he doesn't wear it often.
It kind of comes on when he has to fight.
He kind of looks like Jamie Lannister when he was a Kingsguard. In the if you think about it. But let me look at the. Oh, hey, look, here's the comic one. He's basically that guy from G.I. Joe. But like, have you seen that? Oh, what's it called? Like, there's a G.I. Joe like spoof. Like it's a funny.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember what it's called, but it's hysterical. And like their take on this guy in the G.I. Joe universe was just him like in the fishbowl helmet, but you couldn't hear him because he was in the fishbowl helmet. So every time he talked, all you heard was it was so funny. Like
I think we talked about that. I think we talked about that on Cribcast when we were talking about Bridget.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey
Hey kids, I'm a computer. I'm a computer. Stop all the downloading.
But no, it's relevant to the last film because they're basically setting up everything for the fourth phase of the MCU, including introducing the multiverse.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah,
they were
not a
starting-
Spider-Verse, just a multiverse.
Yeah.
That means there's.
So-
Oh.
So
Oh.
I have some interesting theories about.
Cube, it didn't work.
I have some interesting theories of what
No.
they could do for the next
Apparently.
phase.
Before you say that, I just want to say, like, I felt this way about Homecoming too. That I just don't like Mary Jane's actor. Like the way they casted her.
Hmm.
Like Zendaya. I'm fine with Zendaya, but like I don't like her as that role.
Hmm.
Like because she doesn't look like the Mary Jane character at all. They just completely went with a different route.
When they went with the new Spider-Man, they kind of did that too with Aunt May. Like she was like weirdly hot.
Oh yeah.
And young. And it's like she's supposed to be this old woman.
She was a gilf.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
was
No,
lot
that's not a thing, right?
To Pornhub. We got to find out if that's a thing.
No.
It is a thing. It's literally MILF, but with old people.
Oh no.
There's your thought
Okay.
of the day.
Oh no.
A very old thought.
Oh my god.
A geriatric.
Is it too late to leave the group?
No, you're stuck here.
Can we cut that out? Like,
Now I'm just gonna keep it in.
It
I'm
was,
just gonna gloss over
Wildcard's
this.
fault. It was Wildcard's fault saying she was.
You are
hot.
so welcome. But wait, in the new one. But wait, in the new one.
You know
isn't
I'm
she?
just gonna make
Or am I
something
mis-
out of that.
But did I mix her up with someone else? Because I remember seeing only bits and pieces of the newer Spider-Man, and like she was referring to Aunt May, and it was like that's not. She's way too young to be Aunt May. And
Yeah, that's like I feel what you're getting at. Like the casting was a bit younger.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like she's at a proper aunt age too.
Yeah.
yeah, but she's supposed to be old. No,
Yeah, she's supposed to be old and wise.
But, I mean-
and in Spider-Verse, she's a badass.
I mean yes,
some
but
reason.
she was old and badass. That's the point. Like you're telling me that's not hot. Like look at that.
Yeah, that's a MILF. That's
Exactly.
That's not a GILF. That's a MILF.
Yes, thank you.
Unless they were doing
But
the same
still-
thing with like with the Amazing Spider-Man and just establish, oh yeah, his parents died.
Still, it doesn't make sense.
And now he's with his hot aunt that was supposed to be old and not hot.
Basically,
It's like,
yeah.
like they can.
But I mean, they
completely
retconned-
changed her age pretty much.
well, they changed everything in the new one. Like the original Spider-Man, the oh fuck, what was the
Sam
Tobey
Raimi.
Maguire? Yeah, the Tobey Maguire one was like to the T. Like was great. Like it was loyal to the actual material,
Yeah.
and then they just went and derailed everything with the newer one.
Yeah.
And this is their third try. Where
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I
you-
feel they actually did it right this time.
Sto- story-wise,
specifically with
story-
more specifically with Tom Holland as Peter Parker.
yeah,
He's probably the best Spider-Man ever.
Oh yeah, like I love Tom Holland's.
He's a great
But-
like cast for that, but like everyone else is just so
Exactly.
weirdly casted.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, no, Tom Holland is a fantastic Spider-Man. But there was like a middle Spider-Man between Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire, right? Like a blonde
And
one.
Yeah.
And we don't talk
No
about
one,
that
no one talks about that one. We don't.
Yeah, like is that the
we
one?
don't discuss that one.
But what did that anime look like?
She looked pretty like she looked in the middle between the MILF
Between these two?
and the grandma type of look.
I like how
Yeah.
you said the MILF and the grandma.
Somewhere between the MILF and the GILF.
God.
MILF and the Gilf.
God
I
damn it.
can't breathe.
McGill.
God damn it.
Okay, so this
But
is
yeah,
basically just
we don't
all
talk
three
about
of them.
we don't talk about the two movies that they just dropped after the second one.
Okay, so the one in the middle is from the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy.
Spider-Man
She's like
One of
right in the
these
middle.
things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong.
Yeah.
MILF, Gilf,
Tom
and somewhere
Holland's-
in between.
So basically, like in Amazing Spider-Man 2, she just basically just like reversed age. How she just looks younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Curious Case of the Benjamin Burton or something like that.
Maybe
was that
she
movie?
got maybe she got reincarnated, or like this is the other universe in the multiverse.
Then why did
This is an
These
alternate
reverse-
universe made that got trapped in the Spider-Man's universe.
Yeah. Like she just
Holy
reversed
shit.
age. She was just like she like got injured
Sure,
by that Green Goblin, but
superpowers.
she was like, "Oh,
You guys
no,
ever
I'm
seen this
trapped."
image?
I've seen.
Oh. Oh.
I've seen my cousin go through so many changes. He's almost a completely different boy than I saw him before when I was older. He's way more younger.
I went from Gilf to something in between to MILF to jailbait.
To jailbait.
Yeah.
Somewhere between Gilf and jailbait.
Yeah, that's basically what it's gonna look like.
They just keep getting younger. I don't understand.
It's gonna get younger and younger.
Yeah, I gotta admit the casting for
baby.
Tom Holland is the
I'll get you, Spider Boy.
No, it's Spider Baby. Fuck.
you gotta admit the casting for Tom Holland is pretty great because when you look at him, he looks like he's actually 15, not a
Yeah.
30-year-old in high school.
He's just a 15-year-old nerd. Like,
But he's actually like I think 23 or something.
Oh wow.
Tom Holland.
But
is.
also, like, what would and going on this thing, what would the what was the reporter guy's name?
Jonah
J. Jonah
Jameson.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would he look like reverse aging? Is what I want to know.
God.
He would look like a BuzzFeed editor.
Yes,
Oh.
but he still has to have that wheezing laugh.
Oh,
Basically, yeah.
how-
Like,
Was he?
You know,
Was he in Homecoming at all?
No.
Oh. J. Jonah Jameson's my favorite character. Come on.
yes, he was the best part of the original one
Yeah.
by far.
Give me
Yeah.
pictures of Spider-Man.
Maybe they could just
Exactly.
like have him in and be like, it's Peter Parker's first job as his secret identity. He's like, I'm a BuzzFeed writer.
Nice.
Top 10, top 15 weirdest Spider-Man costumes. Totally not spoiling my identity.
I do.
Well,
I
I,
do
mean,
like-
it's not as Superman.
I do like the difference between the movie, the Tobey Maguire movie and the video game though. He went from he went from newspaper publicist to a podcast host.
Really?
And yeah,
Wow.
in the Spider-Man game. Anyways, thoughts on the actual trailer?
I never actually
So,
saw the actual trailer,
like-
so
Like I was saying about like the multiverse theory, I think this gives us a perfect opportunity to talk about what they'll do for the future of the MCU. So
Ben, I'm back.
yeah, so basically, they introduce multiple characters, and could also lead to different like alternative realities, and they're gonna be doing this in Disney Plus, giving some of the characters that like might have not died or have been completely altered in the MCU, giving them full-fledged series.
Is this your way of
Oh.
segueing?
What?
Is this your
fish
way of
called
segueing?
WandaVision.
No, not a segue, but I'm just talking about like stuff like that. But no, I'm gonna be giving some theories on what new characters could be. One of them being American Chavez. She's a character who actually travels through the multiverse, and I think she could be an interesting character to introduce into the MCU during this era.
I just want to see Carnage, man.
I
just want to see Carnage.
Yeah, I think they could totally do that with the Sony universe, because there's also a little sector with Venom.
I'm wondering if they're ever gonna tie in the Venom movie with this new Spider-Man.
They better, honestly.
It's a way to capitalize.
Yeah, and especially with the failure of Dark Phoenix, I'm thinking they might bring in the X-Men into the MCU, including bringing the current Deadpool into the MCU through the multiverse. So they could just basically just admit, oh yeah, this movie was terrible. We're in the MCU now.
I mean,
Can you imagine Penny Parker?
I like Deadpool too.
Live action.
I love Deadpool too. But what does that do with anything?
What'd you say, Q?
Could you imagine Penny Parker live action?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yes.
Would they do the Looney Tunes kind of style, like the Space Jam?
Penny Parker's the Evangelion tribute.
Where it's like live action, but Penny Parker's still animated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, she has to be animated like fucking Diva from Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yes.
All she is.
But
she's
yeah,
a great character,
but she's the only one that's anime. Everyone else is live action.
fucking Tom's just like, something's off
I
here.
could have sworn you were Build-A-Bear.
But no, I could totally see the X-Men coming into the MCU. I hope Sony gets an agreement with Marvel and it will actually tie in Venom into the MCU, because come on, we need to see the Tom Hardy Venom facing Tom Holland.
Tom Hardy facing Tom Hardy.
Have any of you, other than Cube, who reviewed it, seen Venom?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Yeah. So Cube,
Moving on.
what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, the one thing is that people ripe on Venom for having flaws. Sure, it's not a great movie, but it's not a bad movie either.
Didn't we already talk about this in a previous?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
But
okay, then let's
we're relating it to the new Spider-Man.
If they were to link that Venom, I'm gonna just call it the Venom universe because it's not really tied into anything just yet.
the VU.
Yeah, the VU. But if they could actually tie that into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think it would fit pretty well. The unfortunate part is that Sony still owns the rights to it, but that's the other thing too is that Sony also owns the right to Spider-Man currently. Still, they're just loaning it out.
A movie made by Marvel using those characters, where they go and blow up the Sony building or assassinate Sony.
I don't think that would fly very well with Sony, but
it would fly with the audience.
See, I don't think they're good with actual. I don't think they're good with referential homicide.
But the end of
they're gonna blow
it's
up
called
Fox.
hey, it's called therapeutic art. Okay.
I mean, they're planning to blow up Fox after Dark Phoenix, so it's whatever.
It's just a creative outlet.
I'm also really surprised that Disney hasn't bought out Sony yet.
I don't think they can. I don't think the FTC will allow them to.
Like we already said, Sony is already the Disney of Japan.
Exactly.
Basically, yeah. Well, they could buy out. They could buy out Columbia and Sony Pictures. They could just leave the technology with the PlayStation and stuff with Sony.
No. Sony's too protective of everything they own.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, just look at
everything's
Sony.
possible, but
just look at Sony Music Japan. It's a fucking mess.
Oh yeah.
That's our greatest fucking enemy here at BridgeBrains.
Oh my gosh.
Them and Toho.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, going back to Venom there, like the ending of Venom actually shows a sneak peek for if they were to make another movie with Venom, would have Carnage.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. Like, I really want to see Carnage.
And honestly, it would be actually kind of sick to see a little team up between Spider-Man and Venom to take on Carnage.
Yes. They need to do that.
Because Carnage is worse than Venom.
Because the thing is that after this Spider-Man movie, I think the whole deal to have Spider-Man in the MCU is over.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So like they will have to like renew some sort of deal to have Tom Holland continue as Spider-Man.
They need to renew it.
Or if Sony decides to keep what they've done and just start going off with their own little thing, have Tom Holland kind of head a new like
acquire Tom Holland.
Acquire Tom Holland.
Just like bridge him off from the MCU and just like create their own universe.
Yeah, but like, because Sony will not give the rights to Venom to Marvel, because like I mean they've obviously one, it's not very successful as it is.
Yeah,
which is kind of a weird concept. We won't let you have this; it's too unsuccessful.
Well, I mean, one thing is Marvel's going to look at that and think there's no value in it.
Well, no, just like the way you said it, you said it from Sony's perspective.
Like I see
you can have Spider-Man, he's successful, but no.
I see
not Venom.
I see what you mean. Though.
They're not going to.
They wanted to become popular under their own umbrella, sort of thing.
Yeah, if it wants to get popular, it has to be under Sony. So they won't sell it to Marvel, and Marvel probably won't even buy it because it's not popular.
But that's such a backwards way of thinking.
Well, it's that movie is basically dead in the water. It's not going to go anywhere.
I get that, but
I mean, they could do it, but like, it's gonna keep like all the announcements, like in the dark compared to what like Disney announces with the MCU. If they they just give all the rights to Sony, and considering how they fucked up movies like Ghostbusters and how they're fucking up Men in Black.
Wait, that was Sony?
Yes, Men in Black is international. It's gonna be Sony. I don't really trust them, honestly. So just give them give the rights all to Disney because they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
I don't even.
When it comes to the MCU, I can't really say the same with like Star Wars or something. Speaking of, that's gonna be the next one. That's gonna be the next
God
topic.
damn it! In your segues.
That's gonna be the next topic after we talk about Sonic. But anyways,
we have to.
Don't worry, we have like 4 more minutes left. So
wait, are we talking about Sonic yet?
We can. You want to give final thoughts about? You want to give final thoughts about Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. He's a man. He's also a spider.
Moving on.
Okay, let's move on.
I never knew that before.
So,
anyway,
one thing we can say about studios in Hollywood right now, some of them never learn from their mistakes. But this company, what they're doing with Sonic the Hedgehog, they have learned, like, they avoided a massive bullet, and they're redesigning probably one of the worst designs I've ever seen in a movie ever.
But like, it was gonna be something that like it would have been so bad that it was good, and now it's just gonna be bad.
It would have been bad. Like whatever they did with it, like nothing about this looked good. I'm glad they're changing it.
It's a artistic representation of 3D Sonic.
I would say more of a 3D representation of what Sonic has become, but let's just say
I'm talking about 3D video game Sonic.
Well, more what Sonic has become ever since 2000, but no, like honestly, like everything that happened with this, like the internet spoke, and they were not happy about this. I think this was one of those times where the internet truly was 100% against it. Like, all sides were against this.
99%, because some
Look,
people, like I
look,
said, were
look,
convinced it was
that-
going to be so
What?
bad it's good.
The model is bad.
Is
But
absolutely
I think the nail in the coffin for that trailer was using Gangsta's Paradise in the background.
Oh, yeah.
And and to imagine that there's this theory that okay, there's this video that this guy uploaded an AMV of like one of the Sonic games with Gangsta's Paradise.
Oh, yeah.
And people were saying he predicted it and shit. And then he wrote a comment saying like that's gonna happen. But apparently that's like edited. Like he edited the
Original comment?
Yeah. He edited the original comment from so long, because that was 10 years ago.
He edited his description, and it was like
he still predicted the future.
I mean, he's not wrong. Just, it's such a random choice for a trailer, like music. Just who would have thought? It's almost like a death sentence similar to movie trailers using Kanye West.
As much as I don't want it in the trailer, I just don't want it in the movie. I swear to God, if it's in the movie,
It does seem
seeing
very
that
out
in
of
the
place
credits,
sometimes.
it's just making me like, ugh. It's so bad. Okay.
But no, like
let's talk about the goods parts.
What
of this
good?
trailer, though.
What
Look
good?
at Eggman! Look at Eggman!
Oh yeah,
Hey,
past
Jim
prime,
Carrey.
Jim
He
Carrey,
looks
totally good.
Decent! And his character's
Jim
actually
Carrey.
not that bad. Someone uploaded a video not too long ago that the trailer, but with like a different model.
Yeah.
Not just like a picture with a different
Oh,
model. They made
yeah.
a whole trailer with a different
Yeah.
model.
I
And it
mean,
looks great.
I mean, the
It
model
was a
still
bit-
looked pretty derpy, but it was
But no,
better.
No, it looks great.
Yeah, it was a lot better. And this is a guy with a budget, with a very low budget, whereas
they
a
can make a
fucking
better movie.
Columbia Pictures couldn't fucking do this shit.
Actually, it wasn't
Not
Columbia
only that,
Pictures.
but-
It wasn't
yeah, I was
Columbia
thinking-
Pictures. It was Paramount.
Alright,
It was actually
Paramount,
funny. It's actually
sorry,
funny.
sorry.
That it's actually funny because it was supposed to be under Sony, and Sony sold it out to Paramount.
I think that's funny.
Considering they had failures like Ghostbusters,
Thank you,
Sony
Cube.
couldn't afford to fuck up again, so they gave it to Paramount.
Cube. Thank you, Cube.
Cube's not even here and he's
It's actually
spamming
funny.
Sonic.
Yes. Ned
But,
told us you're gonna have to put more stuff in the. Yes.
Oh my god, no!
Not again.
Oh my
We did
gosh.
this shit with the fucking Winnie the
Yes.
Pooh shit. I don't want to do this again.
We did this with fucking Elmo.
Yeah, we did
Yes.
it with Elmo.
Yes.
What the fuck is that?
God damn it! Stop
My-
ruining the
Keep it coming,
podcast,
baby. Woo!
Okay. Okay. So after the trailer dropped, they went and made an announcement that they're gonna go back and like change some stuff up. Hashtag fix Sonic.
And then
Or
they
Sonic-
they eventually announced they were delaying the film.
Yeah.
This,
Hashtag gotta fix fast.
yes, this was the best thing they could have done to save this movie. I mean,
The thing is,
I think it definitely say it'll probably still be a terrible movie, but at the very least, they have lessened the blow that this movie
The thing-
would have had.
The thing is, they originally set that time frame to fix things to 6 months.
Yeah,
Oh, that's all.
Because that's when the movie was going to come out in 6 months. But they delayed it even further to February of 2020. which is a good time frame. That's 8 to 9 months
Yeah.
to get some things fixed.
A similar film that did the
To
same
actually
thing.
animate it instead of putting some guy in a freaking suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like another studio did a similar thing with Alita Battle Angel. There was complaints about her eyes being a little too big, and then they actually delayed the film till 2019, and it actually ended up becoming a better film as a result. So
You know what?
anything,
This is so much funnier when someone else does it.
so if anything,
Thank you, Tedders.
God damn it, let's get back to the fucking topic. So
No.
I feel it actually made the I definitely feel it's gonna make the movie a little better.
I mean, all they
God
have
damn, I'm gonna fucking start.
Wild card, please stop. Wild card, please.
Stop it! Get back to the topic! God!
Please, guys. Please.
Guys! Get back to the fucking topic!
Never.
Please.
Christ! We're gonna fucking fire some people tonight.
Oh boy.
Anyways, J-Chip, what do you have to say?
I was gonna say that really all they have to do, like animation wise, is change up the model and then sync it up to a different rigging to where it moves like it's supposed to, not with the same model that they used before.
Yeah.
Like that's literally all they have to do. They just have to change the model, fix the rigging to that model instead of the previous model. And take out the fucking meow line. That's all they have to do.
Yeah.
No, keep the meow line, please. Please,
I
it's
fucking
all
hate
I
that
have.
line. I hate that scene. It's so bad.
Every scene in the movie is bad so far. Like everything. I don't like anything they're doing.
Everything.
But at the
everything
very
with
least, they're trying to make something good after delaying the film.
Everything with Eggman is fine. Like the way he's sassy and shit. Like and trying to take
And Jim
hierarchy.
Carrey.
Yeah.
Again.
And then I guess later in the film he turns into the bald, mustachioed Eggman.
Yeah. But the thing
Yes.
is,
I like it.
It's past prime. It's past prime Jim Carrey.
He still looks decent.
Anti-vax Jim Carrey. So if anything, yeah, Jim Carrey's anti-vax. You know that?
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but no, it's like he had his career all the way ahead of him. It's just nothing about this. Like, if this was like 1998, you would have said, "Oh yeah, this is fucking corny." This is 2019, and the best person you have for Eggman is Jim Carrey, of all people.
What do you want, Danny DeVito?
No, that would have been a perfect role for Pikachu. So.
I still love Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu. Speaking
Oh
of,
God, yes, yes.
Is this our segue?
Yes, I'm done talking about this movie.
Me too. But don't tell Cube yet. I want this to keep going.
Okay,
Anyway.
segue.
Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Okay,
Hey,
I
not
liked
yet, not
it,
yet.
but here I need to get something off my chest about that movie.
Okay.
There was that, like, it was supposed to be all emotional and stuff at the end, but I couldn't take it seriously because it was Ryan Reynolds,
I think
and I
that's the
couldn't
point.
take it
I think that's the
seriously.
point. Like I think that's the point. They wanted like the shock, the shock, not just emotional.
I mean,
shock,
but it's
like,
supposed to be
comedy
a
shock.
No, I feel like it's genuinely supposed to be a heartfelt moment.
It
But I
was.
just
think it's
couldn't
like a
not
heartfelt
take
moment.
it seriously.
Tedders, you're being
It was
really
Ryan freaking Reynolds, and he looked nothing like the kid. And I was like, I can't take it seriously because he doesn't even look like the kid's
God, my
dad.
ears are bleeding.
But I think
what
that's what they were
happened?
going for.
Pikachu died?
No, No.
I haven't seen the film, so I don't know.
Okay.
Ryan
Okay.
Reynolds
So,
is Pikachu.
so let me brief down the movie since Nintendo's never fucking saw it.
You had a month.
A month.
Let me brief.
Oh, the tables have turned.
Okay, do you want me to brief the movie or brief the ending? Because there's really not much. To
Okay, let me brief
about
the ending
actual
for
movie.
you. Ryan Reynolds is Pikachu.
Shut up!
That sounded like some sort of narration.
It's
Ryan Reynolds
accurate.
is Pikachu.
But that is a summary of the movie.
That's without context.
But but that's what makes it funnier.
Ryan Reynolds is
I'm
Ryan
so
Reynolds
sad
as
this
Pikachu.
dancing Pikachu didn't show up at all in this movie.
I know. I love this thing. And Dentals, you are putting this in the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I am.
This has to
As
be
well
our
as all the
outro.
other photos.
And all the other Sonic photos, especially this one.
Yeah, it
Oh
led
my
us
gosh.
to like derail the whole episode, but go on.
But that's the best part of the episode.
What part? I wasn't there.
Exactly. He was the derailer.
Anyway.
Oh, beautiful things happened.
Anyways, the ending of this movie basically Nintles, fucking, I guess.
Ryan Reynolds.
Shut up.
Is Pikachu.
I'm not wrong.
Pikachu,
He isn't.
Pikachu was holding the soul of his father.
So
Fucking,
Who is Ryan Reynolds?
who died in a car crash and then Mewtwo put his soul in the Pikachu.
Oh,
To
shit.
save him.
So
Yes.
basically,
Because-
he just possessed Pikachu.
I just like though that they're basically making Mewtwo God, which
I like
makes
that.
no sense. It's
Well, I
not
like that.
Arceus.
Who cares? I love it. But also, I love the homage to the original Pokemon movie.
Yeah,
Like the way Mewtwo busts out of the lab. DreamWorks Sonic, baby.
God damn it.
No.
Last one, please. Anyways, fucking. Yes, I love all the references in this movie, other than it being Pokemon itself. I like all the references to the game.
It was actually really well
to
done.
To the anime. It's so good. Like
Yeah, like it's so well done.
the theme song at the end or at the beginning, I forget which it was. Just I like how all the
The
Pokemon
Jigglypuff singing and making everyone tired.
I like how all the Pokemon in this world have jobs of some sort.
Yeah.
They're the Mexicans of this.
The side.
Oh no.
Okay.
They're the Mexicans of this universe.
Not the
He's allowed to
Mex.
say that he's Mexican, but
Yeah, I'm allowed to
Full
say
disclaimer.
that. I'm Mexican.
full disclaimer. But also,
Because remember,
works.
kids, it's okay to be racist if it's your own race.
exactly, damn white people. Anyway,
Anyway,
like
fucking-
everything worked out really well. Like it looked really good. Like people were like, "Yeah, it's a little too weird," but no, like it actually looked really good.
Yeah.
And
do-
like
it-
there
it-
was
it-
one point where they did a weird camera flip that made no sense.
Which
But
one?
other than that, it looked really good. Like when the freaking giant turtle things.
Oh,
who's-
the Torterra. Yeah.
Yeah, but like they did this weird like camera flip and made the world like go into a freaking U shape for no reason. Like it made no sense. It's like I thought someone was like doing earthquake or something, and that was like when I saw that in the trailer. But like when in the context of what was actually happening, it made no sense. Like what was that weird U shape?
I do like how they went from like the miniature Torterra
Torterras,
garden
the big ones.
to the huge, because that's legit what Torterra looks like. He's a fucking continent Pokemon.
Damn.
Nice. Like the whole movie was awesome. Like the way they made Ryan Reynolds Pikachu. Like Ryan Reynolds wasn't just Pikachu. Ryan Reynolds was Pikachu, and like that was the whole plot, the whole point of the movie. That was beautiful.
Just like
Ryan
the way-
Reynolds.
I mean, yeah, yeah, but like, he didn't look like the kid's dad, and that was the whole
that just
thing.
means he took after his mom.
Yeah, but like, they don't show the mom, and there's
They
no
do show the
there's-
mom.
They don't show the dad in Pokemon either.
Exactly. There's only
But, like,
one
there's
character.
no similarities between
When have you
Ryan
ever
Reynolds
Teddy,
and this kid.
Teddy. This is Pokemon. There can be only one parent.
One
Okay,
parent.
okay,
One
let me
parent
just-
in Pokemon.
Okay, everyone. Let me just get this straight.
They're
So-
like
But the parent
Black
doesn't
Widows,
even
they
look
eat
like
their
the
mates.
kid, and it
Is-
doesn't
like,
say
is
he's
the-
adopted.
So
Yeah,
wait,
he's
hold
adopted.
on. Is
Let me
Ryan
just
Reynolds
ask
the
his
father of the
question.
kid? Is Ryan
Yes.
Reynolds the father of the kid?
Well,
Yes.
his character,
Oh,
yes.
Okay, why?
Because he had sex with the mom.
Yes.
What? Don't you get about that?
okay. Let me just get this.
How
All right.
babies are born, Nintel.
Ryan Reynolds and a woman love each other very much.
Oh my god.
Ryan Reynolds
Okay,
can
let me
get
just
any girl.
let me just get another question. Why didn't the Pikachu say that he was his father?
Okay, he didn't
Because he
remember.
didn't remember.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
he
a-
Wouldn't
got
that
an
been
side
even
effect of
more
his whole
awkward? It was just like, oh, I'm your father. You're a fucking Pikachu. I know.
Well, he didn't really know until the end.
He didn't know. He didn't know. He just had like his voice and his characteristics. but
Memories.
he didn't-
Okay.
he
Here's the
didn't
thing.
have
I was
his
like in the
memories.
back of my mind the whole movie going like, is the Pikachu gonna be like the dad like the whole freaking time? It was really weird. And then when it happened at the end, I'm like, I'm not surprised, but
okay.
like
So I thought this movie was gonna be sort of like a Ted situation, but now it's sounding more like a Jack Frost. You know
what?
that Jack Frost movie with the CGI snowman?
Oh god.
No.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't.
thinking.
But
I don't like that.
I just know, but one thing we have to make perfectly clear: parents, humans in the Pokemon world are like Black Widows. They eat their mates. There can be only one.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that's the thing. In every Pokemon game, you never see the dad except
Because he's
in,
been
I think in Johto, he's the gym leader. But you never see him at
No,
home.
that's the stepdad. That's the stepdad. The real dad has been eaten.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, in no Pokemon game, there's
You feel there.
never a second parent. So I guess it's in reference to that.
You know
'Cause
what?
his mom's
There's
not there.
Yeah, like that's a great reference. But also, I just made a fan theory even better than the Ash's coma theory.
I do. There's another theory going around, and it's enough of a fucking theory that fucking Matt Pat picked up on it. The way the fucking Ditto turns into humans, like that's I guess a canon thing that can happen.
But they have the eyes, the beady eyes,
Yeah.
which was
Well,
very clever the way they used the sunglasses.
dude, there's gonna be so much Ditto merch now than there already is.
Dude, like the Ditto, the Rule 34 of Ditto is going to be crazy now.
Oh no,
Why'd
don't.
It's
no.
nudes of everybody with beady eyes.
Who would get off on that though? That sounds no.
My friend
Like
almost
a
bought
beady-eyed Sonic.
my friend almost bought me a Ditto Eevee at SacreCon, and I wanted
With
it so
beady
bad.
eyes?
Ditto.
Yeah.
Nice.
But like
Just put beady eyes on anything. Say it's a Ditto.
Exactly. But the Rule 34 of that is going to go crazy because they just have to put beady eyes on already existing Rule 34 stuff.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. My whole thing with this movie is that yes, it's very cheesy. Yes, there's a lot of things that don't
It's
make
not
sense.
even that cheesy.
But okay. But like there's a lot of things in this movie that don't make sense, but at the same time, it is still one of the best video game movies, which is
Right.
not a high. It's not saying much because there's a lot of bad video game movies.
I don't know what you're talking about. The Super Mario Brothers movie
Fuck
was a piece
off.
of art,
Fuck
and
off.
it was a masterpiece for generations.
In all honesty, the
Code
Warcraft
in that
movie,
disgust me.
in all honesty,
Such a
the
masterpiece. I don't know what you're talking
Yoshi
about.
and that disgust me.
okay. In all honesty, the the Warcraft movie wasn't that bad either.
I've heard some bad things
Yeah,
about that.
I'm just waiting for the Smash Brothers cinematic universe right now. 'Cause, you know,
Just
them-
a whole,
Sonic,
a whole
Detective-
like
Dude,
freaking.
Sonic,
it's
Detective
literally-
Pikachu. They're making a Super Mario Brothers movie
Dude,
next year.
it's-
It makes sense.
This
It's
is just
literally-
a Super Mario Brothers
Bro.
movie.
Yeah.
Okay, if
made
you
by
want- if you want to make-
Illumination, the same people who make Minions.
Move
Okay,
over,
if you-
move over,
Oh,
MCU. We got the SB.
Okay,
Yes.
if you want to make a Smash Bros movie, literally just take Captain America: Civil War, and just replace, just take the models. There you go.
Very well done, Jason. Very good thinking.
Nice.
But who would be who?
Mario's Captain America.
But you gotta do a 1-to-1 for every single
Yeah,
character.
and Luigi is Iron Man.
So they have that climactic battle at the
I
end
thought,
of the movie.
but like instead of I thought we were friends, like I thought we were brothers.
Oh my
You know,
god. Oh my god. Who would
So did I.
I would pay good money to watch this.
Who would Joker be?
Kirby would be who eats a lot
Spider-Man.
in that movie.
He would be
Thor?
Spider-Man.
Kirby.
Yeah, he'd be
Yes,
Spider-Man. He just comes in and
yes, Kirby is Spider-Man. That way, when we get to the Avengers version of it, he's like, "Pie," and then die.
No.
No.
And-
I was gonna
Arms.
say like when we get the
Mario's
introduction of him, he's like, "Hi."
I thought
I mean, it makes sense because like Spider-Man takes Captain America's shield. So
Yeah, he sucks.
I thought it was
Kirby.
gonna be,
Just eats Mario and becomes that, and takes his fireball.
I was think.
I thought your justification for finding somebody for Kirby would be like, hey, he eats a lot. Oh, Thor.
Oh,
But he's
yeah.
not
no,
like that in
Thor would be
Civil War.
DDD because the hammer.
Yes.
Anyways, I
Can
think
somebody
we're
make
getting
this
off
just as a
topic.
parody?
Yeah.
Like this is the
I would pay
ultimate
good money
parody.
for this.
This is the ultimate parody.
Let's hire fucking Dai Tomodachi to actually get this.
Yeah. But anyways, fucking the movie itself, great movie for a video game movie. Really weird movie for being a movie.
Like it
But
was.
I love that they when you get your ticket for this at most theaters, they give you Pokemon cards. And
I
think
didn't
that's
get
so
any.
I didn't.
Loser.
Apparently, Oklahomans aren't good enough for Pokemon cards.
Yeah, fuck you.
Even a small Canadian town got some.
Maybe they ran out, honestly.
Or maybe
Just
they
make sure you don't get your tickets at the box office, like the self-serve. Get them right at the box office.
Oh, well, that's all I got here. Is the self-serve one? So.
Oh fuck.
Oh, that sounds like a personal problem.
I don't like human interaction.
Yeah.
Maybe
same.
maybe they just forgot the South, and good for them.
They could.
I
they
mean,
just
that's a
print
fair
out the
point.
Pokemon cards
South
with the
doesn't
tickets.
deserve
Maybe they're
things.
giving them out to the wrong movie.
Pokemon
You're
cards
giving
to the
John
Sonic movie.
You're gonna go
Oh,
see
no.
John Wick 3? Here, have some Pokemon cards.
Oh my god! Oh my god! So did you guys get the Sonic trailer before this movie too?
Oh, I
Yeah.
actually avoided this movie.
I
so
did the
can't
whole
see
I
it.
went on my Snapchat and I did the whole thing where like you wait for the Sonic trailer and everyone just goes meow.
Oh my god! So no, I'm saying like when you went to go see Detective Pikachu, did they play the Sonic trailer before the movie?
They did. I just said
Yeah.
we did the whole thing Where
Yes.
when that one part comes up.
Dude, the entire
meow.
theater in my at the theater I went to groaned, like just like
Yeah.
I
I have-
fucking loved it.
Okay, the real
I wanna-
reason I didn't see this movie was mainly because of that Sonic trailer. I don't want to see it ever again.
I wanna hear it
that
with
Sonic
Steve
trailer
Sheridan.
was so bad. I was fucking crying when I first saw it. So I
Just
don't
go
want.
in-
I have fucking PTSD on that shit. I don't want
Just
to
go
relive it again.
into the movie after the trailers, after the
Yeah.
You
just-
know how long
go-
trailers play in movies? I waited like 15 minutes for Avengers Endgame to begin.
it was only
Yeah,
it was
so you
only the
just wait
second trailer.
15
It was
minutes
only
till
the
you go
second.
in.
It was
It was
like
only the
they
second-
played like 6 trailers right before Endgame. It was like, God, just get to the fucking movie.
Yeah, it was already waiting.
Yeah,
fucking
they
3
played
hours.
actually. I can say something about that. There were so many trailers before Endgame. I thought the beginning of Endgame was another trailer.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, I feel like the people freaking showing the movie forgot it too, because they didn't turn down the lights until like the whole like thing. Everyone started turning to dust, and they're like, "Wait, this is the movie. It started," and then they turned the lights down.
But also, like, you know, Endgame was like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
how long it would have been without those trailers. Like, it was actually a 2-hour movie. We just had an hour of previews before it.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I'm thinking like what would happen if Infinity War was just the end? Like they combined the 2 movies. Think of how long this movie would have been.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there would have been people
Endgame
down
was
for it
originally
though.
Endgame was originally supposed to be Infinity War Part 2, but they changed it. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if they didn't though? What if they just made it one movie?
yeah.
It would have been fucking huge. Anyways, Pikachu, go see it. It's fine.
It's wonderful.
Like it's just a good sit down movie. It's a feel good movie.
It's a
it's
great
fun.
movie.
You don't even really have to know much about Pokemon to enjoy
Yeah,
really
it.
don't.
I saw
It's
so many
really
people
good.
just be so. There's like quite a few old people in my theater. Like, yeah, I saw a lot of Pokemon fans. So
I
like,
hear
that's
there's an
why.
outtake of Ryan Reynolds saying "fuck his Pikachu."
Yes.
Amazing.
I want to see that so
I-
badly.
Now I
Yes.
just need to see Pikachu with a gun. That's all I need to see.
I just need to see Pikachu in a Deadpool outfit, running around killing people, making
We got fan
witty
art for
remarks.
I mean, they might actually just reference that in another Deadpool movie, so who knows?
Oh God, I hope so.
that. Oh, okay.
Oh
last-
God, I can't wait.
My last thought on this movie is that after the movie came out, someone released on Twitter like this art, this edit of the Detective Pikachu's logo, which is a luminescent sign, and put like District Attorney Eevee. I am so down for that.
What,
Dude, if
Vietnam
that- if-
Pikachu?
if they ever do a sequel to this, I want to see District Attorney Eevee, because Eevee as a lawyer is so fucking amazing.
Oh, that yes.
Anyways.
Objection. Pew.
Yeah.
All right, so we're good to take a break for a bit, and then we'll come back. Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Okay, well, I won't be back because you got the rest of what you guys are talking about. I have no clue what any of it's about, and I got other stuff to do.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now we can
Just-
do it.
Bye, Tedders.
Yeah.
Bye
see ya.
bye.
Love you.
Bye.
All right, so
And then the 3 of us can just do Star Wars. That should be fun.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna be taking a break for a bit, and we'll be coming back for other topics. So see you later, or see you next time. Bye bye.
Don't leave, don't leave, please.
Hey kids, do you like t-shirts? Do you like Absolute Duo Abridged?
Well, I've got a sweet surprise for you! Introducing new ADA merch! Help support J-Chippers and BridgeBrains by buying a shirt, hoodie, tank top, or a mug with everyone's favorite lolly feminazi. Yeah, that's right, a mug! With a title like Absolute Scum, who wouldn't want to wear that around, say, your disappointed parents' house, a funeral, or the alleys of downtown full of criminals ready to mug you? Who wouldn't want to mug you when you're wearing such swag? Just follow the link to get sweet ADA and J-Chipper swag. And remember, Yulie is always watching you and judging you. Aren't you special?
He was born with a gift. Son, you were born with a special power. Now grow to be purple and despise me forever.
Psh! Nothing personnel, kid.
Coldsteel, the Hedgeheg. He was the best there was, and he was ready to prove it.
Wow, Coldsteel, you're the strongest fighter in the entire Sonic Fighting Academy. I'm putting out a recommendation that you be enlisted in the Sonic military.
Nothing personnel, kid.
It would turn out to be his undoing.
In this final battle, I, Shadow the Hedgehog, shall turn you towards the darkness and make you like 9 Inch Nails, the band, and Jinko Jeans.
Psst, nothing personnel, kid.
Which would spell the end for Sonic.
Whoa! Nothing personal, kid!
Coldsteel the Hedgeheg! Rated E for everyone except for Kevin Robinson from school. Fuck you, Kevin. Stop showing everyone my fucking DeviantArt, you piece of shit.
Welcome back to BrainWatching, and
Where did we go?
I don't know, but Teddy can make it. So we're just the four of us.
Okay, Thanos came back and snapped, and Teddy was the only one that left.
Yeah.
Teddy had to go back to Build-A-Bear.
She had to go back to Build-A-Bear Workshop.
She had to go back to her
she was
home.
losing her stuffing.
She had to pick a new outfit.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the next topic, we are gonna be, or actually no, Wildcard is gonna be talking about Game of Thrones.
Because these losers haven't seen it, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently,
What the
we're
fuck?
the only ones that haven't seen it. But Wildcard apparently might have seen the whole thing. So
Wildcard, why don't you tell us why everyone's pissed off?
Yes, finally, my time to rant.
All right, let's move on.
All right. Okay. Anyway, so there's these guys.
Oh, that's a great
they're
story.
fighting over a chair. And now they're all dead. Moving on.
A bunch of guys that kill each other over a chair. The end.
Yep. So yeah, ever since they passed the book, like once they had to go and make up their own plots, it's kind of been downhill. But it kind of took a plunge downhill, like a deep dive at this last season. Not necessarily because of the writing, more because some people will argue because of the writing. I'm kind of on the writing, but it's mostly because of the directing. Yeah. Like, it just goes completely, like, the way the execution of it is where it just really goes downhill.
That's what I was talking to Nintles about, like, when I brought up possibly doing Game of Thrones for this. I feel like that's the problem with anything that derails from the source material that far.
Yeah.
Look at what happened to Full Metal Alchemist the first time around.
Yeah, that's what
it was a shit show. It was a shit show.
Yeah, basically the problem was when Full Metal Alchemist first came out, they didn't complete the whole story. Like the whole manga wasn't complete, so it was a problem where they had to continue the series because it was popular, but they didn't have
because
enough
of
material.
that money.
Yeah,
they wanted that dinero.
Yeah, and because the story wasn't complete, they couldn't tell the full story. So when they did it the next time around with Brotherhood, they had the full material, and it actually led to a better adaptation.
The first Full Metal Alchemist is basically just a fan fiction in video form.
Basically,
Like,
yeah.
To a certain point.
It's so bad. The ending is trash.
Yeah.
But fucking 2009 redeemed it. I love Brotherhood. It's my favorite anime of all time, and anyone can fight me on that. But like, back to
Game of
the
Thrones,
relation,
yes.
it's just every franchise that does that derails that far from the source material just end up dropping the ball so fucking
But-
hard.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, but the thing is, it wasn't just the writing. Like, it was the direction. Like, it went, like, if they had executed it better, it wouldn't have been as bad as it was. But like they were so, like, they wanted to shove the fact that this was the end and that, you know, this has been a huge experience and this is a huge show. They wanted to shove that down your throat throughout the whole thing. And what I almost wanted to make a video about this, but what especially drove me crazy was the Long Night, the one where they actually fight the White Walkers. Like, there's just so much. Like, let's talk about siege tactics real quick. Let's talk about battlefield illumination. There was no battlefield illumination. There was, like, they literally just they randomly decided, oh, hey, maybe they're there now, and they just charged forward, and oh, look, they were actually there. Like, how'd they know? Like, it was completely pitch black. I don't know. Like, there's just so much. Like, I don't know. It was poorly executed. And then, like, in the heat of the battle, they, like, randomly cut to the side where they're randomly sneaking around a library, trying to sneak around these zombies, even though at this point they made it clear that they should have been flooding in, not just, you know, sneaking around. It was just, and like leading up to the battle, there's like 3 different times where they had characters saying the exact same thing leading up to it. Like, you know, like, oh, you remember back in season 1 when we were here, and like, and then they, like, later you're like, oh, now we're here, and you know, it's like me and my buddy were watching it, and we just kept thinking of the Monty Python joke of, you where, like, you know, other characters pop in, like, get on with it kind of thing. It's like that was the kind of thing, like, you know, like the part where, like, even God comes in, he's like, get on with it. It's like that's how it felt throughout that whole thing. Like, they just kept cramming things down your throat and just trying to milk it for what it's worth. Like, and then the characters,
it was just a rush job because it's the
like,
ending.
that's just it. There were some parts where it was just so sluggish, and it didn't need to be. And then there were parts that were so rushed, and parts that just weren't, or just it seemed random, or just didn't feel justified because it wasn't enough build up. Like, they overbuilt some things and then just left critical things unbuilt, or not necessarily unbuilt, but they made it just happen. You know, like, they didn't give it the proper build for it. You know.
Yeah, and one particular character was the Mad Queen, correct?
Yes, because that's the biggest part. Like, everything up to this point, like this last season especially, she just starts contradicting her character and becoming this Mad Queen. But it's like almost like she was forced into this Mad Queen, and like circumstantially, I can kind of understand why. Like, it kind of fits. But like I said, if they had executed it better, it would have fit better. Like, it just kind of just happened. And she ends up destroying everything. And I don't know. Ever since then, it's just been like... But, like, it was weird. Like, they showed a point where everything was going her way, and then she just randomly snaps and kills everybody. And...
Yeah. What I've heard from that is just a really bad example of how to write a character, how to just shoehorn that in, just made her completely insane.
Exactly,
for
like,
no
very
particular
shoehorned.
reason.
Exactly, it was very...
Like, this goes back into the, like, source material thing. if this was like foreshadowed in all the books, you would think that like the actual book would
Well, I mean,
like have
it was
like a
and, like,
natural
the-
progression.
And that's just it. Like the other thing is like the writing wasn't bad. It changed. It wasn't the, the rich writing style that it's had up to this point. They were like, they weren't writing to build characters. They were writing because of characters. If that makes sense. Like they were talking about each other as if, well, this guy's character is this, therefore he does this, and he impacts her this way, and without her. Or without this guy, now this guy's dead. She can't do this because that's what that guy's character was about. It's like
yeah,
like characters aren't independent anymore. They're like they're just locked into this role. And I mean, I kind of understand like when you try to get such a vast series, when you're trying to find a conclusion, you're not going to find a satisfying conclusion of that because it's just not going to happen. But there's a better way to do it than what they did. And the whole, like you said, that part where that got shoehorned in, where she just goes around killing everybody, that was very underdeveloped, even though characteristically it was there. Like, certain characters that she relied on for moral support were gone at that point. And just a lot of things weren't going her way. And, like the stuff, the pieces were there to justify that, if they connected it properly, and they didn't connect it properly, and that's why people are pissed.
Like, I just also what I saw a lot on Twitter was people talking about that one shot where is it Daenerys the
Yeah, she's the
dragon
Mad Queen.
The Dragon Queen.
Where she's on the dragon and she's like crying and just about to start.
No. There's this shot where like the dragon's coming up behind her and spreads its wings, but like you don't see the dragon's body at all. So it looks like she's growing wings, and then the dragon
like that was
flies
actually
up.
really cool.
It's like symbolism that she's the dragon.
She's
queen.
the devil now, or she's the devil now. Yeah. But like that was actually a really cool shot. But
like I saw it as cheesy, to be honest, and a lot of people did too. Like I saw a lot of people saying like this is so cheesy, everyone saw it coming.
Like that was actually a really cool shot in my opinion. But yeah, like that's what I mean. Like it got very cheesy, very hammy with the characters, and very, honestly everything after the end, or after that point, after the betrayal, and when Jon Snow kills her. Spoiler alert. After that
we haven't
point,
said spoiler alert already.
Well, too bad. But
same thing as Endgame. So yeah, a whole month to see it. So
yeah. Well, after that point, everything after that point felt like a fan fiction. Just the tying up the loose ends and wrapping it all up.
It really is just Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, like it was bad.
But I saw a meme going around. I saw a meme going around that all these things with like bad endings and stuff, and like horrible things happening to the material, and then it just cuts to a credits that says written by whoever the writers are of the Game of Thrones, or directed by.
Oh god. No, my favorite one is this one where there's this picture of a horse, and at the beginning there's like this beautifully drawn picture of the horse that says season 1, and then as it goes it gets less detailed, and it's like the stick of your horse at the very end, and it says finale.
Those are my favorite kind of memes.
Yes.
The derailation.
Yes.
oh my god.
Oh my god, I love derailing me.
But I mean, I could go on forever about, like, I stopped myself when I said let's talk about siege tactics. Like, no, I'm gonna be here all night. But there was just two big scenes, and like the other thing was like one of the dragons gets killed by this basically ballista thing, the scorpion. Like they had scorpions on a ship, and they managed to kill a dragon with it. And then when it came time to it, they attacked the city that was just covered in scorpions. Like they had just a fuck ton of them trained in the air as their anti-air equipment. And suddenly they didn't matter. She just destroys them all with her one remaining dragon. And it's like, how'd they even kill that one dragon? If it was that, it just kind of it just really stretched their or challenged your suspension of belief when it came to everything. It just
before I ask you your final thoughts, have you actually read the books?
I know I need to.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like, because I know both the books and the TV show are a mess.
They're very complex and it's a very rich story, but like, God, just what?
At least the writers and directors or whatever aren't like fucking the writer of Harry Potter who just,
God, yes.
Who just years later after the movies come out, did you know Dumbledore was gay?
Did you know that the Night King was actually black and he was gay and he was attacking because
he was anti-vax.
And they was attacking the homophobic establishment of Winterfell or something like that.
Oh yeah,
and he was actually attacking Trump's wall. And
before we end it, can we just say what bullshit was it when who took the throne was Ben of all characters?
Well, that's just what I'm talking about. Like that was, I mean, for sure that was kind of a curveball that was like, okay, but like that's what the point. Like after Daenerys dies, and the throne melts, which was an awesome thing to do. Like they could have just ended it there, and it would have been somewhat satisfying. But after that point, everything just became a fan fiction. And yeah, Ben took the throne.
There was actually a fan ed I saw before where the guy who ends up becoming the king, who ends up taking the throne, in this fan
Did
ed.
I say Ben?
Ben, yeah.
I meant Bran. Bran takes the throne.
Yeah, Bran or whatever. He ends up getting blue eyes, and it's revealed that he's sort of a White Walker.
What?
So, like, somehow the fans... This is another example of how the fans could actually make something better than fucking writers. Like...
Oh, that is awesome!
That happens with so many... That happens with so many franchises, like Sonic. Like, so many... When the fans do something better than the studios with a huge-ass budget, that says something.
Yeah,
they do it better than the studios on their own time. Just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
I'm watching this. Hang on.
Yeah.
What's your final thought on Game of Thrones as a viewer yourself? Wildcard.
Yeah, that's the only one I can see it.
I'm sorry, I'm watching this thing. Oh my god. That would have been brilliant.
Yeah. Honestly.
Oh my god. Oh man. That's my final opinion right there. That's where it should have been.
To me, as a person who never really got into Game of Thrones, it just this ending, like after seeing so much, and then I went back to see like clips of it. It just didn't make me want to get invested. Like,
it's a
it
fantastic
took 9
show.
years, and it could never get me into it.
Like, it's a fantastic show. It's a very, very rich characters, very complex story, and very true to life. Very random happenings. Like it's not, everything is, it's random It's not, driven by a, main character,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
like a character development thing.
right, and then their mistakes end up biting them in the ass, and main characters die. In fact, it became to the point where if you ended up liking a character, there's a good chance he's going to die. like he makes you like characters in order to kill them and just fuck with you. But
that became a meme for a while.
It was, and the South Park of Game of Thrones was beautiful.
Oh my god, yes.
But oh my god, like I do recommend it, especially the first 2 seasons were like it's absolutely incredible. The next 3 through 4 or 5 were very good. After that, it starts kind of declining, and then at the end, it just falls off the cliff. But
I could just say one more thing real quick. I do see in the future they could do a remake, like a complete, like faithful adaptation to Game of Thrones, but I don't see it. I don't see it being a television series again. Maybe just a movie franchise. But
here's the thing: like what they did with this, though, is pretty genius. That they went about it with doing a TV series rather than a movie.
Yes,
because they had so much material. Like, think of what Harry Potter. Like, those books are huge. They have so much material, but
and
like,
they left so
you
much
can
out.
tell in the movies, there's some things that were cut out or rushed.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So like, what I do admire what Game of Thrones had to do. The way they went about it.
They achieved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's what people have been saying. Like, if Blizzard ever made an Overwatch movie, they can't do it because they can't satisfy like everyone's character development of their fucking 28 characters.
Yeah.
They're 28 heroes. They can't satisfy that. So they have to do like a TV series or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
or at least like maybe if they like there's other things like maybe like 5-hour long movies like back in the days when they do with like biblical fiction, they could probably do that.
It really is just Infinity War plus Endgame.
But no, like if there's like other mediums in the future, maybe like for VR or maybe just make a full video game, just any attempt to make a better adaptation, fucking go for it.
Oh my god, can we talk about the Game of Thrones video game for a minute?
Oh no. No. How did they let such a popular money-making series go to such a shit company? Like, it was garbage. It had such potential and garbage. There, that's my rant.
Okay.
Like, but they had the potential to do awesome things with the video game franchise of this, and they blew it.
Yeah.
Anyways, should we get to the next topic?
Yeah.
All right, so
Cube, you were dead for most of that.
Oh, sorry. What? What were we talking about? Oh, Game of Thrones. All right, where are we starting?
Okay, so get this. There's a bunch of people, and they kill each other over a chair.
Okay, all right. I think we're good. Let's move on.
Okay, here, let's choose our own adventure. Here we do Disney Plus or Star Wars. Which should we do first?
I choose none of the above. See ya.
Yeah,
he has to leave anyways. Let's talk about Star Wars.
All right. So, we have a lot of Star Wars related news that we're going to be talking about right now. First being Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Yay! I am so not interested in this film. With how bad Last Jedi was.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, to be honest, I've never really been the biggest Star Wars fan. I've seen I've
That's
seen
fair.
like most of the sequel movies. I've seen the original trilogy. Well, I actually found a way to actually watch them restored in like the original like George Lucas
Like
vision.
the theatrical releases.
Yeah, try to at the very least.
Yeah.
Because they're so hard to find. But yeah, like so far, like the sequel series has been so meh, honestly. Like it was like the first film, like Force Awakens, like they did a good job with how they did all this stuff, like building up some of these characters. But at the end of the day, it was still sort of similar to A New Hope. The Last Jedi, it did like great things like by introducing new characters, but they squandered on all of them, and just like in the other characters they introduced like previously, they did so bad with how they handled them in this movie. It's one of those like things where it's like it wasn't necessarily the studio's fault. It was more or less the director they hired to take on this film. And he basically Rian Johnson just basically ruined any chance of creating, like, to complete the complete the sequel trilogy, like, completely. So now we're getting stuff like, Hondo coming back. What was that guy's name? I don't fucking know. It's the black guy.
Lando?
The black guy.
Lando, yeah.
The one black guy.
The only black guy in the universe.
But yeah, like they have to resort to bringing old characters back, including teasing Palpatine.
Oh god.
Yeah, so and that's mainly because The Last Jedi killed probably one of the only like villains that could have had some sort of relevance to the rest of the movie franchise. They killed the fucking Snipe guy.
Well, honestly, I think one that was probably not a smart decision on Rian Johnson's behalf to kill off Snoke.
Yeah.
However, I also have to praise JJ for not just like revoking that as like, oh look, Snoke is alive. Like, I kind of like the idea that he's just going to try moving on from his decisions and just make a new story, and not try to pull back on some of Rian Johnson's decisions.
Yeah, but you see, that was kind of the problem, because, like...
Well, that's kind of what Rian Johnson ended up doing. Like, he saw The Force Awakens, it was setting up for, like, some things, and then Rian Johnson decided to go through Last Jedi and just, like, yeah, you know that thing where we said Snoke was going to be, like, the ultimate bad guy? Yeah, we're going to kill him halfway through the movie. And, oh, you know that, like, it's like, you set up all these things, and Rian Johnson just went, yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
And like certain characters they introduce in The Last Jedi, they end up killing. Like people have a complaint about Rose, and it led to fans actually harassing the actress, which was honestly pretty bad. But
I fucking hate the Star Wars community sometimes.
Yeah, like the one thing I don't like Rose's character, like she just is not written well at all. However, harassing the actress
or the studios, like, just don't harass the creators or the cast who have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Just don't be a person, be someone, like, you don't have to agree with this. That's fine.
Yeah.
Don't fucking be an idiot.
Yeah. Well, like, some people don't like the character. I liked the character for who she was. Didn't really like how they shoehorned the whole, oh, capitalism is bad thing, which was pretty fucking dumb. But they had potential to make her an interesting character. What did they do? They ended up killing her. Like, having her sacrificed to Finn, which who they didn't have any, like, emotion, like, romantic connection. Somehow she, like, kissed him right before she died.
She didn't die, dude.
Wait, what?
if you watch the movie, she's on the Falcon's like, oh, she's stable. She'll be okay. She didn't die. She's in the next movie.
She's just badly injured.
Yep, she's in the next movie, but they're not going to be
hope.
involving her that much.
Yeah,
I
she's
hope
just badly.
she is, because
She's just badly injured.
Yeah, they've made a statement that she's going to be in the movie, however, not relevant to the plot.
And
Okay,
that's
then,
fine,
so
to be
she's
honest.
dead.
She's dead to the franchise.
Narrative-wise,
basically.
yeah.
And that just that continues my point. Like, they had potential to write her as like an interesting character, have her bridge into the next movie, but they didn't even, like, they're not gonna bother doing that. Like, in any capacity, like, she's, like you said, like, she might be in the film, but she's not gonna be relevant to the plot. Like, if had they killed, like, Finn, it would have made much more of an impact, because he made the sacrifice for her, and also he fulfilled his whole plot by killing the silver troop stormtrooper.
Captain Phasma?
Yeah, Captain Phasma.
Yeah, the thing is that Finn's arc was completed. That would have been a great end to his character.
Exactly.
He first came into the series. He was a stormtrooper. However, he just right at the beginning,
He didn't agree with anything that they were doing.
He wanted to defect, and he was just trying to find redemption.
Yeah.
And at first, he just wanted to escape and just start living on his own. But by the end of Last Jedi, he's found a reason to fight. He's redeemed himself from his past. He's going to make the ultimate sacrifice to save the rebellion. What happens? Rose comes in.
Yeah.
With the dumbest message I honestly have to think. Oh, we're not going to defeat the people by defeating what we hate, but saving what we love. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. And also, as she kisses him, the base blows up and probably killed about 100 or so people there.
Yeah.
Like, they had a full army when they came into that planet, and you know what they left with? A ship filled with the Millennium Falcon worth of people. Say about 30 people. And they called that a victory.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate defeat. That should have been the ending of, like, Empire, where they've left at their lowest.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, no, this is our highest, apparently.
Yeah, but no, like, had they, like, killed off Finn and left Rose alive, it would have made much more of an impact, and also built another female character for your franchise. Instead of that blank slate Rey, who basically, like, let me just be honest, she's just really badly developed. Like, I know they're trying to do something. It's like, oh yeah, she doesn't have a family. More than likely, they will like acknowledge that she was actually the daughter of Luke Skywalker. But in this,
I've actually been I've been thinking of a little theory about Rey.
Yeah.
Like, you know how let's go back to Anakin. How when we first met him in Episode 1, he his mother said there was no father. That could mean like two things. Like, one, it was kind of like a dark thing, blah, blah, blah. We don't want to talk about that sort of thing. Or he was actually just born of like nothing, as if he was born of the Force, which came to the prophesized chosen one, right?
Yeah.
But then in Episode 3, we also hear a story from Palpatine saying, oh, you can influence midichlorians to create life, which almost confirms that Palpatine had something to do with Anakin's existence.
Yeah.
So, in a way, Anakin was never the true chosen one, born of the Force. So, he kind of made everything out of balance, wiped out the Jedi, wiped out, like, most of the Sith or whatnot. But what if Rey is the actual chosen one born of the Force?
I mean, it could make sense, considering that she knows how to use a lightsaber, even though she literally never used one in her life.
And honestly, yeah, that would justify for me of why she's so great with the Force. And, like, who cares? If she is born from the Force and they tell me that, I don't need to know who her parents are. That's a great justification for me.
Yeah, like, that actually would fix things a little bit, like, because with no information about her right now, whereas she was a rushed character, pretty much, just she knows the Force, knows all these techniques.
But we haven't developed her character that much. Like, we don't know much of her past, and that should be something that should be solved by the second movie.
Yeah.
And yet we still don't know nothing, and we're going into.
Yeah. I feel like that's a problem with the Star Wars franchise as a whole. Not like these movies don't take much from the books and stuff, like the material.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, once Disney acquired it, they pretty much wiped out
like
the whole
most
thing.
of the characters, besides the main characters, are real characters from the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
Like that character that got injured for nothing that has no relevance in the next movie, even though she's gonna be there.
Can I just say that people only really like Star Wars because they're putting the extended universes as their headcanon and not actually considering the films as like the true canon? So basically they just have like this expansive imagination, and even though like it doesn't really happen in the films.
That's why the thing with Star Wars is that even as gruesome as it can be, it's one of those things where it's for everyone to enjoy in some aspect.
Yeah.
Like fan works and or just reading the books or watching the movies exclusively. Like, it's a thing for everyone, and I think that's actually nice. But at the same time, it creates these many different narratives on what you should think.
Yeah, and that's
about
kind of a
the
problem
franchise.
because like the original trilogy itself, it wasn't the greatest, but like Empire Strikes Back had like an emotional impact. It was like a groundbreaking movie with how it ended. So in a way, it was like it wasn't supposed to be like this like massive narrative thing, but like people treated it as such because it was one of the first films to like truly explore outer space in such a capacity that it did.
Star Trek.
Well, in a much more expensive matter, not like Star Trek.
Expensive. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so many different camera technology was built from this movie franchise.
Yeah.
Like Disney and Lucas worked on so much to develop these movies and movies in general.
Yeah.
Like, this was a trendsetter, pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
And honestly, aside from the main movie, I like Star Wars as a whole. There's so many characters, whether you can get invested in them or not, because the movie just goes on its own path.
Yeah.
Like for say the cartoons on Disney and I think it was on Cartoon Network at one point.
The Clone Wars.
Yeah, the Clone Wars was good. What's the one that's on Disney?
Rebels.
Pilot guy, the Rebel. Yeah.
That was actually not a bad series.
Yeah, it's not bad. I liked Clone Wars though because
I'm really happy that Clone Wars is coming back.
Yeah. I did. I just don't like what's the name of Anakin's Padawan again?
Ahsoka.
I do not like her.
I didn't like her in the very first bit, like in the first movie. However, I like where her character's developed too.
That's the thing. This came from a movie, like.
Actually,
came from a movie.
The first movie was actually first written as 3 separate episodes and then combined into one movie.
Oh yeah, and also like the rough cut of the first movie was supposed to be like really rough. They actually saved the movie on the final cut. So yeah, like there's a lot of things you could like. There's a lot of things that could be redeemed about Star Wars. It's just like. I feel like
it all has to be directed right.
Yeah. And I feel like whenever like they make a mistake, like for example, people think about the prequels or the sequels, nobody's really happy about anything about Star Wars, and that tarnishes what it did right. And they could try to redeem this with the new trilogy they're going to be releasing after Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, they announced they are actually doing a new trilogy that it was originally confirmed it was going to be Rian Johnson who was directing it, but now it's actually confirmed it's going to be the writers of Game of Thrones.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We just talked about the disaster that was.
It's like, I got bad news. The original or the new trilogy is going to be Rian Johnson. Oh, damn. Wait, good news. It's changed. It's not going to be Rian Johnson. Oh, thank God. Bad news. It's the Game of Thrones writers. No.
But no, like, I don't necessarily could say really bad things about the Game of Thrones writers in terms of what they did. It's just they had nothing to write on, like, cause like they ran out of material with Game of Thrones. In this case, they have an opportunity to create a blank slate and create a good story. But you know what happened with Rian Johnson? That could be a double-edged sword too. So I'm pretty iffy on that.
Written by the Game of Thrones writers. Directed by Rian Johnson.
The thing with Star Wars though, even if they're going on their own path now, they have so much material.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen all of the mainline and sideline books? Jesus Christ.
Well, a lot of them are non-canon anymore.
Yeah. But they also have announced that they're going to be so basically they're going to be airing the movies like they're going to switch schedules by year with Avatar, the Avatar sequels. So 1 year we'll be getting an Avatar movie, and then the next year we'll be getting a Star Wars movie, and vice versa.
By the way, this was a trend started by Jack's Films. Go see Endgame instead of fucking Avatar.
Yeah. Did the Endgame finally like pass them in the box office
they
yet?
still got a couple million.
Damn it.
Yeah, they're close, but
seriously,
only so far.
Seriously, go see Endgame. I am tired of Avatar being at the top.
Yeah, like thinking about the cultural relevance, Avengers have way more cultural relevance than Avatar ever did.
Avatar, really, the only reason people went to go see that movie in such a fashion that it raised that much money
was probably because of the 3D.
Yeah,
well, actually, it was more than
it was all the cinematics. It was
it's
literally
the visual
all the
effects of the time. Like that movie came out 2009.
Yeah,
we were nowhere close to what that movie actually looked like. That was like one of its first like fully like the full CG environments like that. They were never that detailed.
Yeah, and looked like movies like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, for example. That was like what it looked like back in the day.
And like if you watch Avatar now, like it still looks pretty stunning what they actually have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like,
so that's mainly why it's been taking so long for the sequels to be done, because
it
trying to raise the bar.
Yeah.
That's also why they did not do well on the story aspect. The visuals is great. That's what sold it.
That's what I'm saying. The visuals are what sold that movie beyond belief. And
which is why it
the
doesn't
story
need a sequel.
The story is awful.
Blue monkeys that have sex with their hair.
Other than Sully, whatever his name was, do you remember any other character in this movie in Avatar?
Not really.
Do you remember any of their names?
No, I remember the angry soldier got
Was one of them named Sully?
Yeah, that was the main character.
Okay. What was the other one?
Gamora's
Like,
actress.
Marie
I don't
or
want
something?
I don't want you looking up. I'm asking you genuinely, do you remember any other character from this movie?
Was that redheaded, like, older lady, Marie or something?
I don't think it was.
No.
I may be wrong, but
It's actually really funny because when I saw that movie when I was a kid, I was one of the only people that was like cheering after the film ended. I'm very.
Thank God it ended.
Thank God.
It's like, woo, yeah, that movie was awesome.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah.
But
I'm that
seriously,
guy.
like, this movie's so badly written. They have fucking hair sex.
Yep.
But yeah, like the fact that we don't even remember anything about that movie says a lot about its cultural relevance. And the funniest thing is, it's been 10 years since that movie came out. By the time Avatar 2 comes out, it will technically be like it'll technically be considered a nostalgic comeback.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, if it's taken this long because of, like, the visual aspect, I'm wondering if it's actually going to be lacking so much because so much has changed since then in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, cinematography has changed so much over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
it's crazy.
I mean, like, James Cameron was doing other stuff, like, he was working on Anita Battle Angel, he's working on that Terminator movie coming out, Dark Fate.
Oh, God.
It doesn't really look that great, honestly, but yeah.
Neither was the last Terminator, so...
Yeah.
You know what I love? I love when Salvation came out. It is the first movie of a new trilogy of Terminator movies. First one came out, nope. Then we get Genesis. It's the first movie of a brand new trilogy that came out. Nope, that flopped. You know what they're saying about this one?
What?
The exact same thing. This is the first movie of a brand new trilogy.
They said that about
time on a
Spider-Man.
trilogy is a charm.
They said that about Spider-Man too, but he only got 2 movies.
Yep, it's a
Basically,
2-movie trilogy.
It's amazing that he even got to 2.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy though that Tom Holland, like by the time he does his second Spider-Man movie, this will be, I think, his 5th appearance as Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, first was Civil War, then he got Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, and now this one.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
He's gotten to play Spider-Man more times than any other actor.
I mean,
Technically, yeah.
Look at Hulk. He only had 1 movie.
Technically, Hulk's movie was completely retconned because they changed actors.
Yeah.
I felt it should be retconned.
To be honest, I like the actor that they have for Bruce Banner now.
Mark Ruffalo is great.
Yeah.
If they had just, you know what's great is the person that's done the casting for Marvel was only one lady, and she's managed to keep almost everybody.
Yeah.
Do you know which one movie she never did the casting for? The Incredible Hulk, the very first one with Edward Norton, and that didn't turn out.
That's funny.
So that one lady who did all the casting for every single movie managed to get actors that would stay with contracts.
Oh, that's funny.
So honestly, we have to thank that one person, and I don't know her name.
Incredible Hulk was actually my first Marvel film that I think I watched in memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or
film.
like.
You could tell it was you could tell it was a Phase 1 film because it was very boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I like the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah, the first Iron Man was pretty good.
Second one's terrible, but you know.
Oh god, the second one, I hated the second one. That was actually the first attempt they were trying to do with the comedy style, and it was unbearable because basically the whole movie was Tony and Pepper arguing, and it got so annoying.
And then we got Iron Man 3, which is a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
That one came right after Avengers, so we got to explore a little bit of like the aftermath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But no, like I felt like that's why Captain Marvel was such a bad movie, because it felt a lot like a Phase 1 film in which it was extremely boring. But anyways, we're getting off topic. So
let's talk about blue people.
Well, I thought this was supposed to be a Star Wars subject.
It's
or
both.
Aliens,
It's
Star
like
Wars.
Star Wars,
The
blue
the
people,
point-
to Marvel again.
The point is, there doesn't need to be a trilogy for either.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're saying is Disney's such a powerhouse. There's so much shit that ties in together.
Disney just does what it wants.
Yeah.
Disney
One
does
thing-
what Disney
you guys-
does what Nintendo does.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about the Star Wars TV show they're making?
Yeah, the Mandarin. I
Yeah.
think,
The
Mandalorian.
Mandarin, the Mandalorian, the Mandarin.
Yeah. So is it a series about Boba Fett or?
Well, no, it's
Boba Fett.
it's just like an actual Mandalorian, because Boba Fett was never actually a Mandalorian. He's just a guy who found Mandalorian armor.
Ah, okay.
But what I like is that this TV show is being directed by Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah.
And it's like how the original like trilogy for Star Wars was kind of based around like old samurai movies that had like the space opera vibe. This one is actually going to be styled more like a spaghetti western.
Spaghetti West.
Interesting.
Yeah, like the old Clint Eastwood movies, but in the Star Wars era kind of thing.
Nice.
That's interesting.
That's actually very
By the
cool.
way, when you said Boba Fett, it just made me think of a country ass Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
I'm
Boba
gonna take you out
Fett.
right now. I'm gonna take
Boba
you out with my blaster.
Oh, just
Hey
go
there,
sit my
Boba Fett, you wanna fuck my sister?
My sister's my clone.
My sister's my clone.
Anyways, speaking of the Mandalorian, let's talk about Disney Plus, the new subscription service by the mega corporation.
Honestly, they're going to just be Netflix. Like, might as well just go with it.
That's what they're going for. And this whole streaming service is why they took down a bunch of Disney movies and a lot of Disney properties from both Netflix and Hulu, and I think NBC did the same too.
Yeah. But
it's
no,
just
yeah, it's very interesting, especially with the Fox merger. Technically now, that means The Simpsons will be a part of the Disney family and will be, I think it said they were going to be premiering new seasons exclusively on Disney Plus. Wasn't that not correct?
That just disgusts me.
Yeah.
Like
the whole Disney merger with Fox is so confusing because some stuff they're keeping, like they're keeping Simpsons. Apparently they got Family Guy for
oh my god,
some
no.
reason. It's just so confusing because like most of the stuff that are on like the Fox television channel, they get produced by 20th Century Fox, but apparently now they're two separate entities. So
this is why American Dad went to TBS.
yeah. And which even then we don't even know if it was produced by 20th Century Fox. If it was, then that means they own American Dad as well.
I don't want them to. I
I
love
don't.
American Dad. I love American Dad way more than Family Guy. And to be honest, more than Simpsons at times. The newer episodes are kind of.
And what about the Orville? They also they might also own the
I
Orville.
I actually haven't seen the Orville. Q, have you seen it?
No.
I've heard
Wait,
great
what?
things about the Orville, but But technically,
I
that would
heard-
mean they own all things Seth MacFarlane, or most
which makes
things.
sense, to be honest. Like, he put all of his treasures in one basket, and it's just a mess.
Hold on, was Ted
Uh,
produced by 20th Century Fox? I need to see this.
I
Ted.
I don't think so. I think it was just like a different studio, and then it was a Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, it was
project.
Universal, so technically
Yeah.
they own.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was.
Thank God.
I
Nothing
remember
is
that.
more powerful than an Apache helicopter.
But my problem with this whole Disney service is that not only did they take a lot off of like, Netflix and Hulu, they're making exclusive content like for
Yeah.
I mean, granted Netflix does that, but
Yeah.
but the thing is, Disney is doing this with popular established franchises that they're gonna make all these exclusives to the Disney Plus. They're gonna make exclusive TV series, exclusive movies.
Okay, there's one thing I gotta mention though, is that like when somebody makes some form of media, you gotta purchase it in some sort of fashion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with it being on one service?
I mean, there's not really that much wrong with it. It's just how they're, like, in the case of Disney, they basically own like almost everything.
My problem with it is that Disney
I mean, they
is
own Marvel.
milking them. They're
Yeah.
milking these franchises that they're making exclusive to this thing. And they change everything about it. Like, it's pretty much just bullshit ass spin-off that
Yeah.
it's so bad. Whereas Netflix, their originals most of the time pretty decent. They buy the licenses. Disney, they own the licenses.
Yeah, that's the massive difference. But I will say that Disney does great jobs with the franchises they have. Well, most of them, like even when they owned Power Rangers before, Disney did a great job with the series they did on it. It's just when they owned Power Rangers, they didn't give a fuck about that franchise, and that's why it got bought by Saban.
Doesn't Nickelodeon own it now?
No, it's Hasbro that owns it now. But it's so weird because even when they have like series that they don't really give two fucks about, somehow they could create a great thing out of it.
Yeah.
But most of the time, something like Star Wars, they're not doing great things with. But
they just milk it.
Yeah,
milk it for all it's worth.
Basically, yeah.
I'm debated I'm debated on the Toy Story 4 movie existing. It looks decent. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty decent. Like pretty investing.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, it's milking a franchise where it could have just ended at 3 and everyone would have been okay with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe do a little side series on the side, like which they have. They've done like like little videos, little OVAs if you want to call them. Of the toys interacting with their new owner.
Yeah.
So,
but you see, the big problem with Disney is that they're relying on so many self-established franchises that they're not making new franchises anymore. I mean, this could also extend to Hollywood in general. I mean, it does. But, like, what was the latest new franchise that Disney created? Frozen?
Coco. It was Coco.
Oh, it was Coco, yeah.
That was the last one, like, as a memory. And Coco was actually pretty decent. Like, it's pretty emotional.
Yeah, it's just they rely so much on the Marvels and the Star Wars that they're not really interested in creating new things, and that's kind of my problem with Disney right now, because they have built a legacy of creating multiple franchises. It's just they rely so much right now on the self-established franchises to the point where they remake the old movies they did into live action because it seems like they have nothing else.
Yeah.
And this service feels like it's going to be a symptom of that, because more of what they announced on that service are self-established franchises. Well, they recently announced they were going to be making this new partner program where they basically hire diverse directors to create new shorts for them. So maybe they could create some new movies out of that. But it's just at that point, it's just like, I don't know what they'll do. It's just they're in a very steep spot right now. They're basically the Hasbro of the movie industry right now.
Also, I think what also shows how much they don't have for this service, because they rely on so much established services or so much established franchises, that they're charging less than both Hulu and Netflix. For their monthly thing. Their cheapest price right now that they announced is $7 a month, whereas Netflix is $9.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it is in Canadian because I don't fuck. But that really shows they have to get people invested. Like, is it really gonna be worth it?
Yeah.
Because honestly, the only way I could see this is worth it is like if you have kids.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Like, if you have kids, go ahead and spend your money on this. I don't give two shits about what you do with your life with your kids.
And considering that most of the films they're going to be producing for Disney Plus, more likely seems like going to be Disney Channel original movies on that caliber.
Yeah.
Like the Kid
the
Possible movie. Like, it's going to be
God.
that type of caliber.
Yeah.
More likely.
The thing is, Disney is supposed to be about family rather than just children or whatever. But like, the only way I could see anyone buying this is for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because, like, you know, if Star Wars or Simpsons are gonna be on it, it's so weird. Like, my mom's actually getting the service for my niece, and I don't blame her.
Yeah.
But like, at the same time, I would invest in it myself.
Mm-hmm.
To each their own.
Yeah.
It's just Disney is complicated as always. They're doing bad business. Good business in their eyes.
Yeah.
Just bad business to the consumer.
You see, we could praise what they do with like stuff like Marvel and stuff, but at the same time they still have this like sort of identity crisis where they have to rely on older franchises. They have to rely on nostalgia. They can't necessarily create new things nowadays. And it's not a problem exclusive to them, but it's more they're stirring the pot of that, and it creates a problem for new ideas to flourish. And so and with the accusation of Fox, it makes it worse, because that means they're like, what ideas they had when they were working together, like Anita Battle Angel and especially the Kingsman movies, because that was on Fox. Those might not get like sequels or might get scrapped for like future franchises or whatever because they have to profit off of Star Wars or Marvel, and it creates a cycle, and yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah.
So anyways, final thoughts?
I think that's a good note. Disney is an evil corporation, as Bart said. As Bart, who is now acquired by them, has quoted, "Look, I'm an evil corporation."
Yeah.
Oh, how the tables have turned. Oh no.
Yeah. Anyways, you want to talk? You want to do one more improv topic? How about talk about Google Stadia?
It's bad. Move on.
I don't even know what it is.
It's basically just a gaming streaming service. I know it sounds stupid as fuck. Like it's literally like no, I'm not even like talking about like Twitch or D Live or whatever. It's literally games you play that are internet based and only internet based.
Yeah, we might as well talk about it right now.
You do not own the game.
I have a lot to say about Stadia. So
yeah.
So Stadia is interesting because it is another attempt by Google to take over something else.
They already took over fucking YouTube.
They
we don't
took
need
over
them anymore.
YouTube. They took over. They took over basically social media almost. They're basically
Speaking of, as of recording this 2 days ago, YouTube went down, and Gmail went down, and Google Drive went down. It was a mess.
Does sound pretty messy.
This just shows like Google should not have acquired YouTube, because YouTube wouldn't have been in that mess had they not done that.
Yeah.
Google's just broken.
But no, like this is another symptom of Google trying to take over the world, and it's sickening, but it's also intriguing as well. And that's kind of the problem with Google, because whatever bad things they do, I still use their products. I still use Android. I still use YouTube, and I use their search engine because they provide a good product. But at the same time, they provide such bad customer service and censoring basically almost any creator. And
wait, you use YouTube?
Who the fuck uses YouTube?
What platform are we on?
We're on Swoosh.
We're on D Live.
We're just on a random indie platform that no one has ever heard of.
Daily Motion?
Yeah.
Vimeo.
Vimeo. Oh my god! Sorry, I just had to do that.
We're on YouTube.
But anyways, fucking Google's just a mess. Like, I was thinking about this as you said. Like, Google's gonna take over the world. Who do you think's gonna buy out the other first, Google or Disney?
That's of the complicated question.
Who do you think's gonna buy out the other first?
I think Disney.
It's like the whole battle between PewDiePie and T-Series.
Yeah.
Who's gonna buy out who first?
I seriously don't know if Disney's gonna acquire Google or Google's gonna acquire Disney.
Yeah,
they're both racing to get money just so they can buy each other.
They're both international empires.
They're
except in
they're
China.
both basically monopolies, and that's the scary part because this is another example of them trying to take over everything, and it's scary.
One thing that they both have in common though is that they're both not allowed in North Korea.
wait, Google's not allowed in North Korea?
No. They can't browse the internet at all.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought you were
Why do
talking
you
about
not-
South
why-
Korea.
why do you think there's no North Korean fucking YouTubers?
I thought you were
There
talking about
is one.
South Korea. Yeah, that's racist.
Yeah, there is one. Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un has his own YouTube channel. The best YouTuber in YouTube Rewind.
He is the only YouTuber on YouTube. Don't you know? They say that in North Korea.
Oh my God.
The thing is, they do have internet, but only for the Korean government.
Yeah.
It's only for him to feel good about himself.
Basically, yeah. I mean, they recently got a McDonald's, so they're trying to work something out, but
Yay! Another empire.
Cool.
Another
McDonald's
empire.
will bio Google.
Fucking McDonald's is an empire in itself too.
But
Oh,
but
no.
about the service, so basically it's like an internet only streaming gaming service. So basically think Netflix for gaming. There was another company that did this some like 10 years ago. It was called OnLive. They were attempting to do something called cloud gaming, and it didn't really work out for them.
Because this concept is fucking stupid.
Because they're not
You don't-
Google, that's why.
You don't own these games. You just play them online and only online.
Yeah, and that's the problem, really. But I could say back then it was more of a concern because, like, for example, when Xbox One came out, they were having a concern about DRM discs, which was pretty stupid because basically you can only play the disc that you owned online, which was pretty stupid. But nowadays, no one really cares. They mostly download their games anyway. Like, on my
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch, I mostly download games because it's way more
Yeah.
convenient.
Yeah, but the problem with that though is that physical copies are gonna die because of that. Like
Yeah.
and game stores aren't gonna exist because of that.
And it will also lead to if a company decides to remove a game off of a game store, that means the game is no longer playable ever. That the same thing happened with game like PT for the PS4.
That's not exactly true. Like if you think about the whole Flappy Bird incident, like there's still people out there with that on their phone.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's a
what I was-
cherished thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention because like PS4s that had PT on them start selling like hotcakes on eBay, going up for high prices. But you see, that's the problem. As long as you have it on your machine, you still have it. But if anyone else wants to have it, they can't download it, and it will lead
like
to a
that-
big problem because basically with no downloads, that means you don't own any game. So if there was a game that you really like on Stadia, and tomorrow or whenever they remove it off the store, that means you can never ever play it again. So yeah,
The biggest problem though, when you mention games going down, whether it's physical or downloaded, it all comes down to the servers still being up.
Yeah.
And like if it's an online game and the servers are no longer running, you are out of a game.
Basically,
You spent your money on a game that is completely useless now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just love how that works. It's funny. But like I like how the way Steam does it. You
Yeah.
own the game as soon as you buy it.
Yeah.
It's yours to keep. You can alter the files if you want.
Yeah.
Like
people
with
have
Doki
concern-
Doki.
Yeah. People have concerns about Epic Games as well. It basically tries to do the same thing, but people more have concerns about the exclusivity of Epic Games, and also the fact they were spying on people.
Exclusivity hurts a platform. It
Yeah, and that's
most
what leads
often
to console wars.
most often than not, exclusivity leads to, like you say, console wars, and just hurts a platform.
And also leads to toxicity with fanboys as well.
Yeah.
That's why there was so much like shit going around with Xbox 360 being the dominant platform. Basically everyone was being like salty about it.
Then when the Switch rolled around, everything is coming on now.
Yeah, everything's coming on Switch, but there's still some stuff that are not on Switch. But even then, there's connectivity with Xbox and like other platforms with the Switch, and that's the coolest thing because they're trying to bridge a gap between gamers.
Yeah, I have my opinions about. I talked about this the last podcast, I think it was, about Xbox coming, the Xbox service, game store, or whatever, going on to the Switch.
Yeah.
I have my opinions about that, but like I do see it as a good step of bridging the gap.
Yeah.
Like between the different consoles, because they're like Wildcard said, consoles are at a loss.
Yeah.
For a company.
And that's why I thought it was a good thing because not everyone owns an Xbox.
They build it off of loss and make it an investment to see what you can buy from them.
Yeah.
Like that it's with these kind of services like Steam. Think of like how many games are on Steam and Xbox and like all these different places.
Yeah.
And then think of like how many exclusives there are to Steam. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Because I mean, anything can go up on Steam nowadays, let's be real.
Oh yeah.
The most garbage games of the internet have come off Steam.
Including like extreme gore fests like Hatred, for example.
No.
Yeah, the whole world is shit. I just hate everyone. And he starts going on a fucking killing spree.
I don't understand how they have a green light system on Steam, but they let so many garbage games through.
Yeah.
Like, how does that shit get greenlit?
Some guy just sitting there with the approval thing, just not even looking at him, just like, yep. Well, that's good. I'm gonna go for a coffee break.
Basically.
Come back.
Also, a very unrelated thing.
Such a good job.
Also, very unrelated. I'm very sad that Flash games are dying down. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Flash game era, like with Flash going down next year.
I mean, not on Newgrounds.
I mean, they moved to a different service, I think, right?
I think. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention since we talked about it on the Tumblr episode.
Yeah.
But like they're doing well for themselves, both for animations and games and other medias.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, but stuff like Miniclip and stuff, they used to have games on like Flash. They're now moving to Android games and mobile games. And yeah, if you play a mobile game, you know for a fact it's riddled with ads, it's toxic. It's just a really bad experience.
Oh God, that reminds me, if fucking Google is owning this, and you realize how much fucking ads there are when it comes to Google.
Oh yeah.
Both on the mobile games and mobile store and like YouTube.
Just imagine
I'm wondering how that's gonna come into play with Stadia.
Just imagine they're gonna have false advertising for video games on Stadia. Because, like, you know, with mobile games, like, with advertising, like, they'll fake, like, gameplay, and it won't be anything like the game that you play on it. So, basically, they fake a game, and it's false advertising. Just imagine that with Stadia, with, like, these type of, like, AAA games, false advertising to the 10th degree.
Yeah.
Like, you end up seeing, like, this epic, like, night game. There's, like, you almost looks like a Dark Souls, but then when you actually play it on Stadia, it's, like, just this random, like, 2D RPG type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's the type of thing I'm talking about.
Before we close out, what games did they actually, show for it? For the Surface?
So they actually showed Baldur's Gate 3. So it's like a Dungeons and Dragons game, basically. They also showed some just indie games, also some DLC for Destiny 2. So apparently some people are still playing Destiny 2. I don't know why. But yeah, that's what they recently shown. And
what, Cube, do you play it?
I have played it, but I mean, I only played it maybe 20 hours and I was done.
That seems about right.
Yep, I basically completed the game and it's like, I don't feel any reason to keep going.
Yep. I bought it. I don't need to continue.
Yep.
But yeah, like the service looks intriguing, but considering what they do with with YouTube and all that stuff, I'm very iffy about it. So
especially if the people running the YouTube servers are the same people running the servers for this.
Oh God, just imagine they remove a game for hate speech or something.
Google was revolutionary, and then it became a mistake.
Basically, yeah. Anyways, that's all for the podcast tonight. So, thank you all for joining on this very late edition of BrainWatching. Anything else you need to say?
Go see Endgame. Like,
Yeah,
seriously. Fucking go see Endgame.
If you could find a theater that is still showing Endgame, go see it. I mean, fuck, you had like a month and a half to go see it, so yeah.
Fucking bribe a guy at the movie theater to fucking play the movie if they're not playing it.
Exactly.
Because I am very sure that they still have it in the back.
But yeah, that's all that needs to be said. So please like, comment, subscribe, buy our
regular YouTube stuff.
Buy our merch if you want.
We don't have merch yet.
Pay my mortgage.
Hey, actually,
I showed your T-shirt commercial on here, so
yeah,
you could buy that.
This is a perfect opportunity to say, go check out our Patreon. Help support the channel directly. And if you can't do that, because it's a monthly thing, go check out our streams. We have a Streamlabs PayPal set up.
Yes.
And if you can't do that, go see Endgame.
Yes, go see Endgame either way.
Anyways, we will see you all in the next installment of BrainWatching. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!
I'm sorry I wasn't there when you needed me.